Well, hello everybody, and hello to the people who left the tab open. You're probably not wondering where this audio is coming from, but hey, it's coming from... Oh, you found the tab. All right, never mind. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, you left the tab open. I appreciate that. Thank you for lurking. How are you guys doing? Want to start our Friday off with a rocket launch, huh? Baby Triton that you made. Oh, that's neat. That's neat. Babby. I left it open. I left it open on two machines. Always do. Well, appreciate that. I did in fact leave the tab open and fell asleep with Rocket Guy still on. Yeah, I have Rocket Guy's stream open over there too. Hang on one second. Hang on one second. Give me one moment. I just had a message come in right when I went live. So, NSF is actually doing the coverage on behalf of Firefly here. So, I'm going to put that on. Das is actually hosting that stream, which is actually super freaking cool. So, we're going to flip over to that. And we're going to roll from there.
Cold when you try to start your engine.
Right.
When it starts to spin, instead of pulling LOX through it,
liquid
yeah,
LOX.
instead of pulling that liquid
LOX.
through it, it will just flash that into gas, and it'll just sit there spinning.
It's like cavitate?
It's cavitated.
It literally cavitates. So when we talk about engine pre-chill, we're chilling the engine down to a proper operating temperature, so you're not surprising it or trying to get it to operate in a temperature it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the sort of secret sauce of rocket engine operation is that you just make sure that always the conditions that the engine is getting are exactly what you thought you were going to get. So then you can test it and make sure it's going to work.
Gotcha. All right. And again, folks, we may be able to see a little bit of that. Again, the venting that you see on the screen and stuff like that, that's all intentional. Loxygen. I'm not supposed to say it's LOX. Loxygen. Liquid oxygen or LOX is boiling off. You're maintaining those pressures. You're purging things. All these are nominal things that we're seeing on the screen right here now. So we are continuing to stand by for the flight. It's Flight 4 of Alpha Rocket, Firefly's Alpha Rocket here. Just got a little bit of a range weather update in my ear, and they just told me that the range is green, or the weather is green currently.
Yeah. So we on 2 days ago we scrubbed for weather. That was a compounding set of factors. About the worst weather you can have in Vandenberg.
Yep. I was surprised. I was told it was beautiful in California.
Oh, I'm muted.
And I'm like,
okay.
Cool, what's
cool.
happening?
Yeah. No, I'm answering some messages real quick.
Very thick cloud cover. We had lightning coming towards the pad,
right?
And we had upper level winds. So it was just like boom, boom, boom. Everything is terrible. We still fought through a ton of that, and in fact, also the weather was terrible the next day as well. So we were fighting through that for operations on the ground, just getting ready for today.
Even we were out there dealing with cameras, and we were getting poured on Thursday there. So, folks, remember we've talked about a couple different things. Weather is currently green, it sounds like. How do we get the weather for the launch pad? We don't just go to our weather app on our phone and say, what are the upper level winds? It's actually Vandenberg Space Launch Delta 30 that supports the West Coast launch activities here for Department of Defense and NASA and commercial missions like this one here. They've been doing a ton of work to enable these responsive space missions. We've got a little bit of information here from Colonel Mark Shoemaker, who is the commander of Vandenberg Space Force Base. So let's go ahead and listen into what he has to say.
This is a special time of year for Guardians and Airmen at Vandenberg Space Force Base. We're celebrating the 4th anniversary of the United States Space Force, and with that, celebrating our Guardians and Airmen who make all of our installations missions happen each day. In the last 4 years, we have witnessed remarkable growth and transformation at Vandenberg as an agile power projection platform for space operations. If you've had the privilege of visiting our amazing base or being a part of our mission, you've had the unique opportunity to witness high-level, critically important national security missions unfold on the backdrop of our pristine coastline. More than 2,000 missions have launched off of our 118,000-acre base since 1958, a testament to the commitment of our Guardians and Airmen in advancing space and strategic deterrent capabilities. We're not stopping there. What was once a monthly launch cadence has become closer to a weekly event, a significant evolution that underscores our dedication to the rapid response needs of space operations. The next 2,000 launches will likely happen in less than half the time it took for the first 2,000. And to meet that demand signal, we're growing our capacity, our agility, our resilience, and responsiveness to meet the nation's needs head-on and surpass all expectations. And it's that last quality of responsiveness that I want to talk more about today. Space capabilities empower the world, our nation, and our entire joint force. And our commercial partners deliver many of these capabilities, playing a vital role in achieving our nation's strategic objectives in space. And so it's vital that we responsibly support our spaceport partners to assure resilient U.S. Space Force spaceport capabilities to launch and deploy national security missions on short notice. We take great pride in our U.S. Space Force in the to-space part of the mission, and we must continue to be more responsive, remove obstacles at every opportunity, shift launches earlier, approve launch attempts on very short notice, as we demonstrated in support of our U.S. Space Force Victus Nox launch on September 14th this year. And all of this is to enable simultaneous launch operations and countdowns, delivering the spaceport of the future that the nation needs. It's my pleasure to lead the Space Launch Delta 30 team who makes launches from Vandenberg possible. We will continue to foster a culture of innovation and collaboration, pushing the boundaries of what is possible, advancing space capabilities through strong partnerships, and securing the future of space operations together.
You know, I talk about this a lot. It's not just the launch provider. It's not just the payload customer. There's so many different teams, including the Space Force Delta 30 out here at Vandenberg, that support these launch operations. It's always good to see what goes on, especially as we get into these higher cadences. We have a lot more rockets to launch and how they support that mission. We had another question from the audience come through here, actually. I don't know the answer to this. We talked about there's some ice forming on the outside of the rocket as the atmosphere sort of freezes on the outside. Does Firefly have to account or calculate that when launching?
We kind of did an early calculation just looking at it the first time we got out here, because in Texas we basically didn't have any ice. We got out here and there was a brief worry, but if you are able to go out there and touch that ice is it's very, very thin. It's like a thin dusting of snow.
Don't do that, by the way.
Don't do that. But so that it's not very much to begin with. But then the other part is that in the launch, there's a lot of aero heating on the outside. So as you're going so fast that the air just gets hot.
It warms up.
Yeah, it's frictional heating with the vehicle. So the rocket is hot as it's flying away.
Gotcha.
And almost all of that ice melts away during the first stage burn. And first stage mass
is the bigger stage.
It'll be like mass of the first stage, and so that doesn't contribute as much to payload loss as the second stage mass would. When the second stage is burning, when that would matter, it already has
it's
no
already
ice
melted
on it.
off. It's like the payload fraction or the mass fraction of the ice.
Yes.
Is low, or it's low because the payload or the booster mass is high when the ice is on there.
Yes.
And it's gone by the time you get to the
That's a
second
good way to think about it.
I sort of stumbled through that, but I hope you all got the point. Coming up, where are we at here? Less than 25 minutes, 23 and a half minutes about here. Coming up before Flight 4's current targeted T0. If you're just joining us, whichever channel you're watching on, make sure you follow along. Firefly hopefully is going to be doing more of this stuff. They're releasing cool videos and all sorts of things so you can get caught up with here. But current operations, or not current operations, let's talk a little bit about what the rocket's going to do when it takes off. It's going to get really busy here in the last 20, 15 minutes. So now while we have some time, what should we expect at T0, T-2?
Yeah, so when we keep on saying T0 today, what that means is actually the point when the mechanism that's holding, the clamps that are holding the rocket to the ground are going to let go. That's T0. That's what we call T0. Different rocket companies do different things. Some of them use the engine start. We use those clamps.
So you light the engines before the clamps release, and T0 is when the clamps release.
Yeah, so at T-2 seconds, the first stage engines start up. So we put spin gas in, put a bunch of T-Teb. T-Teb is a pyrophoric liquid, so it is a really, really, really flammable thing that when it touches air or oxygen, it just instantly ignites.
Just wants to be on fire.
Yeah, it wants to be on fire.
Discovery,
dearly.
go and throttle.
It will.
Dearly wants to be on fire.
It will burn water. So we put T-Teb in there. Engines start up. We have about maybe a second where we look at the engines and everything on the stage, and it's an automatic check that is going through. Computer looks at everything and says, "Okay, it's healthy." We let go of the clamps. and then we immediately start accelerating upwards.
We get first motion, and then we'll see a trajectory that looks a little bit like this here. There's that stage 1 ignition, T-minus 2 seconds, liftoff T0,
Right.
and then we go into Mach 1, Max Q. Tell us about those.
Right, so Mach 1, that's when we're supersonic. Max Q is the point where the density is dropping and the velocity is going up, and the combination of those two things means that at some point there's a maximum point where you're like crushing the rocket.
Yeah,
with
the maximum dynamic pressure.
With aerodynamic pressure.
Based
yeah.
on the density of the atmosphere and everything else.
And those are the two most sort of difficult control regimes that the rocket has to pass through. Supersonic, when you pass through the sound barrier, you have to
deal with those forces.
Yes.
Like that's where the forces are. I mean, you go through a little bump when you pass through the
yeah, your
sound
control
barrier.
scheme has to change.
Yeah.
So both of those are hard, and then Max Q is just hard because there's a lot of forces.
Yep, and we saw MECO there, main engine cutoff that's going to be happening.
Main engine cut off. The first stage shuts off. The stages separate. Second stage starts up, and then about 15 seconds later, the fairings will pop off. We'll be able to see that in the camera.
Yep.
And then we have 5 minutes of burn time, and then SECO.
All right, so that is what we'll expect after liftoff here. I think in just a couple minutes, we're actually going to come up on a mission control call out. We're going to try to pipe that into y'all, but we don't know exactly when it's going to happen. So if we're in the middle of something or saying something and we need to go to mission control, just expect us to zip up and listen in on the go, no go poll that's coming up here shortly. So
Okay,
we're
I'm
talking
back.
about these launches, and we had the main engine cutoff, we had the SECO, but there was a SECO 1 and a SECO 2.
Right. So SECO 1 is the first time the engine shuts off on the second stage, and we've used almost all of our propellant at that point on the second stage. So it's really lightweight.
Right.
And then there is about 45 minutes usually of coast period
FSW, go.
because we've
PSW,
done a
go. GNC, go.
Here's the go.
Prop,
Go.
fluids,
Go.
structures,
Go.
ABI,
Go.
FTS, go. GC, go. VC,
Go.
payload,
Go.
PMM,
Go.
elbow,
Go.
FISPO,
Go.
IFCO,
Go.
OSA,
Go.
ROC, MA,
Go.
CE,
Go for terminal contact.
LD,
LD is go.
Did
LDA,
you just deploy from under the desk? Yes, I did.
we are go for launch.
That's what we wanted to hear.
that is what we wanted to hear.
That was just straight. That was smooth.
Yep, super smooth. That's great news.
Just straight down the pole. You saw we had a full board
please
of
go.
greens there. Flight 4, go for launch. It looks
That's
like
a go.
actually got some.
Chat is go.
I think that's actually back in Texas. That view there.
Yeah, that was Texas.
Everybody's cheering as I saw some hands in the air there. Still have some time. We're under 20 minutes now, folks, but you just heard the go, no-go poll, and looks like everything is currently green as we keep marching towards that T0 that's coming up here. Let's see here. What do we have? Is that like an exciting time? Like, is that like a, oh, it's really happening now?
Yes, the time between saying go and then the rocket leaving the ground is 20 minutes, but it feels like 20 seconds.
It's 18 and a half minutes now, actually.
It's very fast.
Time just feels like it evaporates here.
You
so
just become one with the plots, and
all I see is go, 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 go. Like, all right. So, folks, if you're just joining us, you're watching Firefly Aerospace's official broadcast. We're coming up on Flight 4 here. This is an Alpha rocket launching a payload for Lockheed Martin. And, in fact, we've actually got a couple words coming up from Lockheed Martin. Let's go ahead and listen in on this to hear what they have to say.
Hi, I'm Robert Lightfoot, Executive Vice President of Lockheed
Hey.
Martin Space. I couldn't join you in person for the launch today, but know I'm watching and I appreciate the opportunity to share a few thoughts about this exciting and historic event. First, I want to thank Firefly Aerospace. Not only are we launching a technology demonstration today, but we're also sharing a strong collaboration between Lockheed Martin and Firefly Aerospace. We appreciate their drive to provide reliable space access, which is critical not only for the entire space industry, but also allows us to test our capabilities with greater
Is this
urgency
awake?
to
No.
be able to deliver new solutions. In a little while, a Firefly Alpha rocket is scheduled to launch our first self-funded and self-developed payload, critical for proving out new on-orbit capabilities faster than ever before. Developing new systems like these are extremely important to our customers and help to keep our nation and warfighters safe. Today's launch is also important in another way.
Nodders.
The space industry is one in which you cannot go it alone. We share a lot of similarities with early entrants like Firefly, and we are proud to work with them and other emerging providers because it takes a variety of innovations, capabilities, and people to ensure we are all successful. Together, we will ensure a resilient launch environment and assure access to space for all important missions. Thank you to the entire team supporting this Fly the Lightning launch. We're looking forward to the ride.
So,
let's go for launch.
Guys, the OLM vent just turned on. Oh no.
Folks, things are going to start happening really
Oh, boy.
quickly here as we are currently 16 minutes and 22 seconds
boy.
away from the target T0. Now, what's going to happen is we've got one more bit from Firefly, I think, to share some words.
We
right
might have
before
to
the launch.
dual screen
Then we're
this,
gonna hop right into that auto sequence and explain what's happening on the rocket. That's why we've got the rocket engineer with rocket scientist, rocket engineer.
So I don't want to interrupt Das's flow. This is my buddy, guys. For people that don't know him, he was a Twitch streamer. He's a good buddy of mine. I've been watching him. I mean, watching Das for years now. But he's over there hosting webcasts for aerospace companies, which is pretty cool. Which is why we have permission to restream this, right? So Firefly is doing a lunar lander, and what they're doing is they're trying to be a parts supplier. And they're trying to basically be like the hardware store for rockets. You know, engines a la carte, you know, fuel tanks, landers for other planets, namely the moon, hypersonics. You know, like you can go be like think about it like Kerbal. You can go buy the rocket engine, right? You buy the rocket engine, or you buy the fuel tank, or you buy the avionics package. They're trying to diversify themselves as a parts supplier for rockets, and they've already started doing it. There are other rockets that are using Reaver engines from the Firefly Alpha launch vehicle, as far as I know. So that's kind of, you know, there's a lot of small sat launchers around. You know, we have the, you know, Rocket Labs. There's obviously SpaceX. There's, you know, there's Astra doing their thing. You know, there's, Virgin Orbit kind of folded, but. What Firefly is trying to do, I mean, there's relativity, right, too? Like, what Firefly is trying to do is basically make themselves the supplier and establish a cottage industry for, making engines for other rockets and stuff. It's actually a really, really, really smart idea, and that's why I'm kind of gung-ho on Firefly. They're good dudes, and I actually really love the way they go about launching. Last time they had on the Alpha Flight, the last time they went and launched it, when the vehicle got into orbit on the, you know, it was their first time getting a vehicle into orbit. The mission control went bananas. It looked like a freaking mosh pit in there, which was kind of my style. That's pretty awesome, dude. So yeah, we're big fans of Firefly here at this stream. I like what they do, and I like the position that they put themselves in. It's actually super freaking cool. Yes, that's Permatex for people that want to know. It's Permatex. Room temperature vulcanization cream. Yes, it's used in the aerospace industry everywhere. That's looking up the business end of the Alpha rocket right there. Those are 4 Reaver engines.
15 minutes.
Flight, and we don't call it that.
So that's when terminal counts.
Is Northrop Grumman's
Hey,
small
by the way,
rocket
the
first
engine
stage
cams real
still
quick,
using
let me
this
finish.
engine?
We have a lot of
Antares
cameras
is
for the
going to
broadcast.
use
We
Reavers
were
as far as I
choosing
can, as far as I know.
cameras. We saw the engine camera,
I
like, we have to
just
have
want to
the
be
engine cam.
very
And some
clear.
folks
Like
are like,
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure they've already positioned themselves to provide engines to other launch providers, which is super cool. Astra doing their thing. You mean bankruptcy? Hey, Aces, I know people that work there. Don't count them out just yet. That's all I'm saying.
That line, that bleed line.
Yeah.
There's heat going to that, so most of it is gas. But as it gets more and more chilled in, you'll see that it'll be.
Hey,
more
Wicked,
and
what's
more
going on?
It gets dark, like it's a darker white line, I guess, right?
Denser, yeah.
Yeah, denser. That's the right word. Nice. All right, so we're continuing to go forward here.
It's a
12
flying
minutes
V.
and 40
This
seconds
dude,
around
the
that.
patch for this mission is the most righteous patch I've ever seen.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Here, you guys got to see it. It's so freaking cool.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
This mission is called Fly the Lightning, and here, check this out. Look at this. Hey, Over Thunder 31 and Kuro with the 24. Do appreciate it. Firefly has had a successful launch into orbit. Yes, they have. Their first flight didn't end very well. Second flight pretty much made it. Third flight was, I think, okay. And this is the fourth flight here. Look at that. The rocket is the neck of the guitar, with the engines being the pickups, which is cool. Firefly is pretty metal. I love that patch. That patch makes me so freaking happy. It's amazing. They're pretty metal, not gonna lie.
Gas, it'll kind of judder along.
It won't move smoothly.
Right. And that really affects your control system. You don't want to have that happening, so we need to make sure that we have a good bleed on.
No, that was
Gotcha.
Astra.
So that's when they move back and forth.
Drifto off the pad.
The TVC on this rocket's really
series.
interesting. Sometimes the engines can
Whoop, that
whatever
is.
term you want
Whoop,
in more than one
that
direction. They
is.
can vector
With
in more than
the
one direction.
pump sub.
Right. So the
Whoop,
rear
that
engines
is.
only have a single axis thrust vector.
It is
control.
right
They
there.
just move in one direction.
Each engine only has one axis, so you have pitch engines and yaw engines, which is kind of a common scheme in like Russian and Ukrainian rockets, but not so common in American rockets.
Okay.
They have
but it's simpler. There's fewer parts. You don't have as many things to deal
two
with.
engines
You don't have
that do
as many things to
this,
break.
two
So
engines
that's
that do
kind
that.
of typical Firefly direction.
That's the four,
Like
four
each
engines at
engine
the
just
bottom.
hinges on one axis, and I imagine you have 4 engines. You probably have 2 pitches.
So the engines, what they're talking about, the engines can't do this. They can't wiggle on both axes. 2 of the engines can only go like this, and then 2 of the engines can only go like that. That will give you enough for pitch, yaw, and roll. So think about like if you have a rocket with one singular engine at the bottom, you can pitch, right? And the engine can do this. You could pitch and you could roll, or you could pitch and you can yaw, but you can't roll the vehicle over. Having two engines opposite each other, so there's 4 like this, right? There's 2 here and there's 2 here. 2 of them can do that. The other 2 can do this.
Control. We don't have to worry about ingesting.
It
water
makes
or anything into
the
tank,
makes
so
the
there's a
thrust
little bit
vector
of
control
pressure.
systems
We're gonna go
on
up
each
all the way to
engine a
blood
lot
pressure on
simpler
our
doing
tank,
something like that.
at T-minus 8 minutes. So that takes maybe 3 minutes to do that.
And you basically
So we
need
do it
less
fairly
thrust vector
slowly, just 'cause
control
we
per
don't need to
engine.
do it fast.
Why do you wait so long? Like, why don't you put it to full pressure before?
No,
or
that was
earlier?
Astra.
And you'll kind of see this in
Fire-
all these things. Like
Flykin.
there's a lot of stuff that's happening in these last 15 minutes, and it's all
Soyuz
set up
has-
in time
yeah.
so that we don't.
So the Soyuz RD-107 and the RD-108 engines, the RD-108 in particular, that's the one that's on the second stage on Soyuz, which is what we would call a core stage. That has 4 nozzles, right? And then on the outside of each nozzle, there's 4 vernier engines, and the vernier engines do this and they do that. That's a real old school control scheme. Atlas missiles in the early 60s had a vernier engine that does that. Fun fact, Atlas engines the 3 Atlas engines are actually fixed. Actually, I think only the center one moves. The outer two engines are fixed because the Atlas missile had 3 rocket engines like this. So it had 2 vernier engines on the outside of those 3, and the verniers do that. When we looked at the AC-5 launch footage the other day, when it went up and came right back down and fell into the pad and blew up, you could see the vernier trying to correct for a negative acceleration. Whoops.
And you don't want to use too much lock, so we wait until the very end.
Gotcha. And then
I
after
imagine
that,
that
we're going
diminishes
to
engine
get
out
into
capability.
pre-press.
Well, the simplicity of the engine kind of makes up for it, but yeah, I mean, more or less. You could lose one and you could still be okay, but the other engines should be able to compensate if you lose 1 or 2. That actually is what happened on their first flight. They lost an engine right at liftoff, and the other 3 kind of compensated until it wasn't enough, and then it flipped out of control after like 40 seconds.
It's in the interstate.
Oh, here, no. Greetings from 36,000 feet. There you go. The third flight was impressive. It was a rapid launch where they were told to fly under 24 hours notice, so they had to accept payload, integrate it, load flight software, and fly. If I recall correctly, they weren't even told what orbit it was going into until T-minus 24 hours. That's right. That's what Flight 3 was. Flight 3 was super secret. That's cool, man. And apparently it worked, Phil, so... Yeah, that's why I couldn't remember Flight 3. Nobody saw Flight 3 because they didn't stream it.
A visibility map that shows where
Hey,
you
Inverter,
might be
Merry
able to see
Christmas,
it.
buddy.
There we go. So there's Slick 2 over there at Vandenberg. That's the spreading T plus 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Down there in Los Angeles, you might look out over the ocean. Not sure if the clouds are going to be a problem out there for you. Up to San Francisco, you might be able to look south. Again, fighting the weather here. Not sure. If you can see it from Las Vegas, let us know on social media, please. Phoenix, good luck. But look out there today. If you're able to walk outside, you might get a chance to view the rocket heading out to its trajectory, carrying Flight 4, the Fly the Lightning mission, actually. For
Yeah, it looks kind of
Lockheed
cloudy out
Martin.
there.
Where are we at
Discovery,
now?
go at throttle up.
T-minus
They're most likely an alloy.
T-minus 7-ish minutes, I think. Yeah, there we go. Just crossed under T minus. It actually says stage 2 TVC wiggles on the screen. Nice. I like it. Also coming up here in 40 seconds.
It's a payload for Lockheed Martin. I'm not exactly sure what it is, Zombie.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Maslam, 100 months, just 54 to go. Dodo, tier 2, 97. Thank you very much.
So we're just letting them sit there. They're doing their own thing.
It's most likely copper, Flykin. It's copper. There's copper on the motors for cooling, but it's probably Inco and copper. But dude, it depends. Like, so say you're aiming for an engine that makes this much thrust. You need this combustion chamber pressure to get that much thrust, and that combustion chamber pressure is going to convect that much or flux that much heat, right? Like, it really depends. The alloy is usually very specific to the engine, so I don't think it's gold. Gold is gold is pretty damn conductive, but there are engines that there are metals that you would want to use more over other metals, and it's probably there goes the arm retract.
There you go. Good timing.
And it really depends on the motor. It does look kind of like brass or copperish, but it's most likely a custom-made alloy.
They are definitely retracting. It's almost like this is a carefully choreographed ballet of rocket machinery.
Almost. Yeah. So those pull away. The strongback's gonna retract. We don't do that early because the wind allowable on the rocket is much higher if you have that attached.
Ah, look at that.
Transporter
There it goes.
erector is retracting.
It's got a little slack
Nice
in the,
camera.
umbilicals there. Umbilicals, right?
Yep. Those are umbilicals.
So that's payload HVAC right there. This is basically a vent to keep the payload cool while it's sitting on the pad. The rocket, it gets a little bit hot inside of that fairing because it's insulated. I would have to go back and see what these lines are. Those are probably vent lines because they're not too incredibly cold. The lines that were down here that we saw a second ago, those look to be second stage fuel lines, but I'd have to go look. So the umbilicals have wires basically, and the wires are on a pulley inside of here, and the pulley is either spring loaded to wind up like to pull that cable closed when it detaches, or it has a weight. There's a counterweight that will actually fall down the umbilical and pull, or fall down the launch tower, the TE, and pull that thing. That's what those metal cables were. Because you need to get the umbilicals away from the rocket. You don't want them flopping around and hitting something on the way up. That's not good for it. Hitting the rocket is not a good idea. So, those wires are usually on like a spring-loaded pulley, and they pull the umbilicals away when the rocket goes to lift off. Dragon splashdown is imminent. Okay. It's most likely a custom alloy. I mean, it could be brass. I'm not really sure. Firefly doesn't exactly say what their they don't actually say like what their nozzles are made out of.
From launch, as we watch all sort of different views.
Remember when they just let the umbilicals dangle when it detaches? Yeah. So there's usually these things are pressurized, right? So when they detach, the pressure relieves out of the line because you basically detached it. All that pressure comes out and the thing goes like a fire hose. And usually it's spraying out either liquid oxygen or fuel or something, right? And that sprays all over the outside of the rocket when the thing goes up. And guess what? The thing that's at the bottom of the rocket likes to ignite things. So you can get your pad catching on fire, which is not what you want, especially if you want to reuse it. Fire is not good. Fire is not good for the launch pad. You want the fire to go away from it, right?
Flies Flight 4. It is Fly the Lightning.
What did I get you for Christmas? Best wishes.
Where the launch conductor is going to ask for the go, no go. So
Why do those engine covers look dented to hell? Those are thermal blankets. It looks like they've been slathered in Permatex to seal them up, Hibbit, which is interesting. Drogues deployed on Dragon. Dude, there's so much stuff going on right now.
There's a certain amount of thickness of clouds that you can't get through because of both ice buildup and tribo electrification.
I was hoping we would get a chance to say that.
You'll charge the rocket up, which is bad for the avionics, but there's some amount of clouds you can get through, no trouble.
Good deal. So, folks, let's go ahead and do this. Let's listen in on the final commit.
Sorry, I'm just loading up NASA TV. See if they're not broadcasting
Flight's
it.
ready. Send it.
Send it.
LDs go for Flight 4.
Rock.
Rock is the range operations commander. There, I don't see a stream of it, dudes.
Folks, T-minus 2 minutes. That's what you wanted to hear. The final commit to launch. 3 goes from the chief engineer, the launch director, and the range operations coordinator.
So you guys can see
Quick
the timeline.
reminder for folks watching, we do expect that we'll have onboard video, hopefully, but we will be intentionally
On the
cutting
30th
that feed
series.
after SECO 1 at the request of the customer. We're coming up on 90 seconds, a minute and a half for Firefly's Flight 4.
seconds.
You know something? I think we're going to listen into the pad and the command net, and we'll just say, go Alpha Flight 4, fly the Lightning.
This is Slick 2, Maverick, Vandenberg Air Force Base, Space Launch Complex 2. Okay.
Seconds.
Okay, inside of 1 minute. It's a defense satellite, Rob, so that's a nice way of saying we have no idea what it is. Lockheed Martin made it.
45 seconds.
I didn't run the ads. Yeah. Oh well, we're still close enough to stream start for not have pre-rolls, I think. Okay.
Acknowledging alarms.
30.
30 seconds.
CD1 vehicle has transitioned to autonomous mode.
Okay, they turned on the avionics software to fly the rocket so the computer can fly it into space.
20 seconds.
It's an automated sequence from here. Everybody in mission control is just going to be watching the telemetry, making sure it works right. Okay, sound suppression system is on. 10 seconds.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Pad deluge.
3,
Ignition.
1.
We got a liftoff. Here it goes. Umbilical separation. Everything looked good. Very good. Fly the Lightning, baby. That looked real good. Separation and everything looked real nice. There was a little bit of a slew off the pad, but it's okay. .35 into the flight. Everything is looking good there from what I can tell. The exhaust is indicating a fuel-rich mixture. Oh, come on, guys. One minute into the flight.
Supersonic.
Vehicle supersonic. Okay, we still got the mission control loop, so the picture is just.
Vehicle supersonic now.
There's an onboard shot.
It's you.
Okay, still looks good. I saw a little bit of a flash come out there. I'm not sure if it was just it going through the clouds. I'm pretty sure that's what was going on.
So we're past max speed now as well.
There was some soot coming out of the bottom of the booster at liftoff and a little bit into the sky, but oftentimes rockets run, they basically flood it with fuel to keep the thing cool. They run fuel rich. How late, Erudite? I think that flash was just punching through the clouds.
It's awesome, great.
Also, I thought they didn't want to show the payload.
See the plume start to expand there.
Okay, there's a shot of the second stage engine. Everything looks good. It actually looks pretty damn smooth.
That's the Lightning engine, isn't it, there?
Yep.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That doesn't look good. I'm not 100% sure what I'm looking at there. I don't know if that was a shot change or not, but that looks to be engine cutoff right there.
Eco.
Okay, that separation looked good.
Stage separation.
Look at that.
Stage 2 ignition. Power looks nominal.
Okay, that looks good. That shot
Nice.
that shot was something else. I don't know what that was.
You actually see the booster there. The second stage continuing on.
Yeah, we should see the fairings in just a second here.
Fairing separation confirmed. Bada
boom.
Bada boom.
That was the payload fairing separation.
Separation.
Just let them say it. Look at that view.
It looked like something popped, but the camera switched. That's all. The camera switched to a different shot, and I'm not 100% sure what it switched to.
Now this is a longer burn now, right?
It could be in the future, Jen.
Like the Firefly logo there. Must be one of the long-range trackers.
Not sure, Dredd.
Getting it through the clouds on occasion. It's easier to see through the clouds from up here.
Yeah, yes, it is. And we're going to start seeing, you can see a little bit, that second stage engine nozzle extension is going to start glowing, which is normal.
Okay.
It's,
yeah, me too,
it's
Rob.
radiatively cooled because there's nothing around, right? It's vacuum.
Because the black body radiation coming off it started to glow red.
And so you have to deliberately make sure that nozzle extension has high emissivity, so it'll cool itself naturally.
It'll radiate off a lot of that energy.
Mm-hmm.
T plus 5 minutes, everything is nominal.
Sun in the background there.
Because of the payload, they don't want to show the telemetry. Yeah, Aqualex. I mean, the camera angles look good. I'm just wondering what that shot was. Everything seems to be going okay here.
That'd be T plus 6 minutes.
It's a great shot. The payload is the electronically steerable antenna. Does that mean anything? That's very vague, Jaeger. That's like in satellite. That's like it's with like in terms of like satellite.
Cameras keep sending us pixels. We'll take them.
With satellites, that's
I think we should have it all the way through to Seco.
That's like the equivalent of saying like, yes, a vehicle with 4 wheels, 2 of them steerable. It's like,
And a quick reminder here, folks, at Seco 1, we do intentionally plan to cut the feeds from the vehicle at the request of the customer. We'll still be here with updates for you.
The car has steering. Yeah, exactly. Oh, steerable antennas. Okay. Yeah, a lot of antennas are steerable. Like, you know, the satellite dishes on the ground that actually, like, move, those are steerable antennas. So that's super vague.
T plus 7 minutes.
I was listening, Builder. Yeah. NSF is doing the broadcast work on behalf of Firefly, Jack. Yep. Das is hosting the stream. Okay, we should be coming up on engine cutoff here probably in the next minute. I don't know the exact. Usually engine cutoff on rockets happens around 8 minutes.
Ice on occasion go past?
Mm-hmm. Not all of it melts off. There's always a little bit that hangs out.
Stuck in little nooks and crannies. And
if you watch the last video as well, the same thing happened.
Copy.
A little bit of artifacting on the feed right there. We're getting some lateral oscillations there on that second stage.
Nominal transfer orbit achieved.
Yes.
There you have it.
Very good.
We got a transfer orbit achieved. It sounded like the call out there was.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Pretty happy about that.
That's pretty good, he says. Folks, you saw it. Flight 4 flew the Lightning. I guess you would say flew the Lightning.
Flew the Lightning.
We had liftoff from Vandenberg. Here's back at Texas. I think that second camera we have there, some clapping going on.
Expected LOS
but
at
let's talk about what's
in 10
next.
seconds.
We're be quiet every time I hear mission control. We are.
That's my boy right there.
Coasting.
That's my boy.
We're coasting.
Mission's not
so
done.
We're in orbit now. So we're in an elliptical orbit right now, and then if you think about kind of we enter that at the lowest point in the orbit.
Right.
So now we have to coast along to the highest point in that
You're kind
orbit.
of coasting uphill right now, actually.
Yes. And so once we get to that furthest point, then we'll light the engine again, and that'll circularize us. So then we'll be in a big circular orbit, and so that's the useful orbit.
Gotcha. So what happened is we took a lot of chemical energy that was stored in the fuel of the rocket. We turned that into kinetic energy, and we pushed the rocket forward, and now that's sort of coasting uphill, and it's turning it back into potential energy.
Yes.
Height above the surface of the Earth.
Physics lessons.
It is.
in the live stream.
The velocity is decreasing now as it increases its altitude.
Nice.
And the total energy, it's a little bit of atmospheric drag, maybe way up there, but the total energy is about the same. It's just trading height for speed right now.
Right. And so then at the top, that burn is super short. It's like I joke that's a cough. Like it just, and it stops. So it comes up to power, drops almost instantly. It's like it's just a little triangle of thrust.
Just real quick.
And then we'll reorient the rocket, the stage with the RCS. So that we have these little nitrogen cold gas thrusters.
Right.
They're also active during the burns because you have to have roll control.
To keep it on its
because you only have one
trajectory.
engine, so there's nothing to keep you from spinning.
Ah, right.
And so those will reorient the stage, and then we'll deploy that payload, and then mission complete.
It's like
So
it's
folks,
like the rocket that we made in
mission is
Kerbal with the
still
little thrusters on the back
We're
for
in
steering.
This coast
That's
phase,
how you
about
do
45
it, man.
minutes long. We won't be on the entire time here. But for the most recent updates, make sure you head over to Firefly's social media channels. Over on X, there it is, at Firefly_space. And that is going to be the best, fastest way to get updates on the ongoing mission for Flight 04 here. Do it right now. If you do, let's get a clickable link into chat. Maybe in chat, tell us you went over there and followed Firefly_space on X. Now, that's not all for Firefly. What's Firefly got coming up next here?
Well, we got a lot more Alpha flights. Flight 5 is the NASA Venture Class Launch Services program. So
VCLS?
VCLS, yep, so we're launching a payload for them. That's happening in early 2024. It's also going to be responsive launch, so it'll follow the same paradigm where we encapsulate and send the whole thing out to the pad and
minimize the time there.
Yeah, verticate,
verticate,
and leave.
Verticate is an industry term. You know who would love to watch this feed? My good friend Harambe. Well, he can't. He went home. He didn't die. He just went home. We launched him into space, obviously. He went back to Wilsiax.
Ultra. That is going to be flying on an Alpha, so it's kind of purpose designed to fly in Alphas. You could fly it on something else, but it's purpose designed.
Harambe is not dead. He just went home.
That is for the NRO, and that is also responsive space operation. It's kind of different in that instead of
he's in the Roadster.
It just being that we can launch whenever, we can now put up that OTV, that Elytra, and it's floating around, and you can command it to. It has a bunch of payloads on it, and then you say, okay, I want this one to go now, so it'll deploy something whenever.
Gotcha. Is that from Minecraft?
No,
not actually. As if I haven't asked him that question before.
Elytra are the on a Firefly or any Beetle. It's the like there are two sets of wings. It's the hard shell of the wings.
The hard shell of the wings.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So a scientific term there for that mission. Also coming up, Blue Ghost.
Yeah. So the first Blue Ghost mission is happening in 2024. We're flying to Mare Crisium, which is the if you look at the moon in the northern hemisphere, this is kind of hard to describe, but as it's rising, if you look at it, there's all these kind of black spots on it. Those are called Maria. The little spot in the top right corner is Mare Crisium. So we're landing on the edge of Mare Crisium.
Gotcha. And remember, if you're watching from Australia and looking at the moon's going to be upside down.
Yes.
A lot of people haven't thought of that. Like, you're literally standing Anyways.
That's part of NASA Eclipse. It's commercial lunar payload services. It's a bunch of instruments measuring radiation. There's some technology demonstrators on there, test sample collections. We're done with the structure of that, so we're now integrating that final lander to get sent up.
So not just renders. There's actual structure. There's hardware that's been built.
Yep. And then the second Blue Ghost mission is also in work. That's a little bit bigger.
Gotcha. All right. Other upcoming missions, folks. There's a lot of stuff going on with Firefly. Head over to their website, fireflyspace.com/missions. Mods, if you could put a clickable link into chat so folks can go and check that out. There's a ton of things that y'all are going on, including something we mentioned at the very beginning of the broadcast. MLV.
My rocket.
Your rocket.
Yeah. So MLV is our bigger rocket. We just had the first engine hot fire.
Now, wait, timeout. That was green.
That was green.
Is that cool?
That's cool. That's TTEB. TTEB burns green. It's hard to see it green when on a video camera, but in stills it shows up green.
It shows up as green.
So we did that first Miranda engine hot fire. We have been building up like crazy. That's a picture of the AFP.
Like automated fiber?
Automated fiber placement machine. So what that does, it's basically like a 3D printer for composites, except that
that's cool.
The benefit of this is that because you're laying down a single fiber at a time, you can put them in whatever direction you want.
You almost change the grain of the... It's not grain, really, but you know what I mean.
But it means that you can set those fibers to be in the direction that takes the most load, like optimally. So instead of 3D printing metal where you kind of have to add extra material and it is actually a little bit weaker, in AFP, you're making less material and it's stronger. So it's lighter weight and stronger. And also, it's easier to make. It's way faster.
And that's what you're using. I mean, that machine is. There's a picture of the machine there. That's going to be used on MLV, the medium launch vehicle.
Yes, it'll also be used on Alpha.
Okay, so MLV was the name of.
That'll switch us from building barrels in weeks to building barrels in days.
No kidding.
Which is pretty cool.
You have a lot of barrels out there, like a yard full of barrels.
We have got a lot of barrels out there. If you come and visit, it's Barrel City.
Barrel City. A lot of people don't understand. It's not just about making one rocket. It's about learning the process to make the rocket.
Yes.
So you practice that. You have extra hardware sitting
honestly,
around,
the harder part is making a bunch of rockets.
Make some coffee tables or something out of it. I think the MLV is probably too big for a coffee table.
Yes.
Definitely. Folks, quick reminder, Flight 4 is still ongoing right now. If you want the latest updates on the status of Flight 4, make sure you head over to social at Firefly_space to get the latest updates. How are we doing on time here? We've been talking about a lot of different stuff. I don't really want to end the stream, but I know that we have a specific amount of time where we're supposed to end the stream. We're getting there, but not quite yet. Please make sure you follow along on Firefly Space. Now, you have on a cool shirt.
I do have on a cool shirt.
Don't try to show the back. We'll fall off the chair. We tried it in a hurry. We're like fall off the chair.
Yeah, I'll beef it.
So if you're interested in getting a mission patch for the launch that's happened today, or any of the other stuff that what else can they get?
Patches.
Patches.
And
there's patches. Wait, hang on. I got those.
Comically oversized guitar picks.
What is that? Hang on. That's a guitar pick?
Yeah, this is a guitar pick.
It looks like a miniature mission patch almost. I love the logo on this thing.
We usually make challenge coins, and we made these instead.
You made comically large. Have you ever ordered something from online and you're like, oh, that looks good, and then you get it and it's either way too big or way too small? This guitar pick is for a very large guitar. The mission patches as well. Also, I think there's merch like T-shirts. Fly the Lightning. If you don't have somebody to toss you a T-shirt behind the camera, head over to, that actually worked pretty well.
That did work
I'm surprised I caught that. Head over to fireflymerch.com. Let's see if we can't get the clickable link in the chat as well.
Lickable clinks.
Oh, geez. We also, we were getting ready for
yeah, I'll be buying one of
holiday
those.
spirit today. With our comically large guitar picks, we put together a little Christmas tree. Did we have we had a Christmas tree out on the pad. If y'all saw on social media this morning, there were some shots of a Christmas tree that was making the rounds around the pad while the red team was closing out things. There's a couple shots on social of a Christmas tree. I feel like I need to hold this thing up or anything. We taped guitar picks to the Christmas tree so that we could have it here to get into the holiday spirit. But folks, what'd you think of the launch today? You're
I
watching
thought it
over
was
here. You could have had a couple different places you were watching that. Maybe you were over on social. Maybe you were watching on Firefly's official channel. Maybe you were watching on the NASA Spaceflight channel. We were providing live stream
You made the
broadcast
chief
services
engineer
for
hold the
Firefly
tree.
today. Let
He's
us
like,
know
"No, I'm
in
not
the
doing that."
comments what you thought of the coverage, and let us know where you're watching from. One of the
Oh,
coolest
my
things for
God.
me, Miles, is we get to share this sort of stuff with folks all over the world. It's not just people that are here able to, go to the Cape or to Vandenberg or wherever to see the launch. But by watching the live streams like this, y'all can be a part of this experience no matter where you are. So tell us in chat.
So Shadowmine, I'm not NASA. I'm just EJ. But this is a spaceflight channel. I'm a STEM educator, dude. That's what I do here on this stream. There's I figure people are gonna watch Twitch, and people are gonna watch games and stuff. So you might as well learn something while you're doing it, right? Rockets are cool, or at least remotely interesting to most people. So, yeah, I'm not NASA, but I will teach you about space if you let me. If you let me. I'm an educator.
Yeah, the second burn, but
The mission is ongoing.
Yeah.
It's not the
in
first launch I'm
preparation
watching
of
with you. Thank you for
celebration
covering.
or
All right,
anything
man.
like
I
that.
see a
We've
lot of
gotten
new
long
faces
way,
in
gotten
here
a lot of
lately,
good
dude.
data,
So I'm
for
having
sure,
trouble keeping
from
track of
everything
it,
that's
you know?
been happening so far, but again, social media is going to be the right place to get those updates. Firefly_space, even after the stream ends here. So let's see. All right. I think that's going to bring us on to the end of the broadcast here. I think we were planning on having some relays. I do believe that we have pre-plays to show you here. Actually, that's why we were talking about where'd you watch from and stuff, because we needed just a minute more to get the relays better. Stall. We've got some angles that you didn't see on the live stream that we're going to share with you in these replays. Are they like playing music to play us off here? I'm not sure. They might be.
for the Oscars.
Hey, anyways, folks, thank you so much for joining us today. We put the tree on the ground, but happy holidays. Whichever way you were watching or however else you were sharing this experience with us, we do appreciate you. Make sure you follow the channels that you're on, especially
right, Sarah.
Firefly's official channels. Over on YouTube, they're going to be continuing to release some
Rick, for
cool
real.
stuff for you. Miles, appreciate the time today. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching the rocket launch.
Thanks for having me.
Providing a bunch of good information as well. I think there's a couple facts in there that I didn't know. And any stream where I learned something is a great stream. Also,
Facts.
folks, my name is John Galloway. I'm with NSF. You don't have to go home. Well, you should stay here and watch the replays because they're coming up next. Thank y'all so much for watching. Happy holidays, and we'll see you nerds later.
Das did a good job. He's good, man. Real good. There's ignition. Green flash. Excellent. It's scrubbed, Rycom. Yeah, they're gonna. They look to be trying again, but. Oh, that's kick butt, dude. That's so cool. Great shot. Green flash. Oh yeah, send it. Yeehaw! Yeah, that camera got a little messed up. He really does, Animal. He makes it look so simple. It's not that simple, dude. Because you have someone whispering in your ear. You have the producer talking to you, saying, "Hey, do this. All right, we got this. All right, make sure you like show off the shirt or show off this Christmas tree or wrap it up." It's hard to do. It's hard to keep that all balanced. Yeah, Stealthy, that's right. There's 4 engines at the bottom of the Reaver. 2 of the engines do this, and 2 of the engines do that. That looked great. They did good. They nailed it. Great shots. That's interesting. You should try to duplicate it in KSP2. You can do it. I've done it in KSP1 before, Hillness, in career modes, where I've made a rocket using the Cub engines, which only have one engine wiggly way. You know what I'm trying to say. Xmas tree over there. Engine wiggly way. That looks real good. Real good. That's what I'm talking about. Do you have each engine only react to pitch or yaw? So how the Reaver control system works is, at least I think, I mean, it really can't work any other way with a 4-engine configuration. So I'm not 100% sure. I don't really have like any insider information with Firefly, but so Forlin, you have 2 engines like this and you have 2 engines like that, right? So you have 4 total. 2 of them do this, right? 2 of them do that. So you have pitch and yaw, right? But if you wanted to roll, for instance, you would have one engine stay straight and the other one turn, and that would get you a roll, right? So 3 of the engines stay straight and one of them turns, that gets you a good roll. So they, like, the 2 engines can move individually, like they can do that or they can do that. My guess is that only 2 of them, to keep it simple, right? Only 2 of them are programmed to be able to, for like roll control, and 2 of them are just straight, like pitch. If I had to guess, my guess is that 1 is for pitch, or 2 of them are for pitch, and then 2 of them are for yaw and roll. That would be my guess, because that simplifies your systems, right? That simplifies a lot of things. You don't need it as advanced a control system, but you're also at the same time making, like, the 4 engines are all the same thing. You just make the same engine 4 times. It's the software that simplified, you know. What's your schedule through the end of the year? So today's Friday. Today's the 22nd. I'm taking 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th off. I'll be back on 27, 28, 29, and 30. And then 31, I'm taking off. Brimo and I wanted to spend our first New Year's, first New Year's married together because reasons, relationship goals. And then New Year's Day, which is Monday, I'm off. And then on the 2nd, we're back. So on the 30th is a Saturday. I know. We're going to do kind of a classic Saturday EJ stream for the older viewers, right? We'll do Kerbal, and then we'll go to GTA and have some fun in GTA on the 30th. We're not going to do it on New Year's. Travel plans for Christmas? Yeah, no, I'm staying local. So no Sarah 2-3 launch tomorrow morning then. Well, when is it? It's at 8 a.m. Yeah, Sarah 2-3. It's 7:56 a.m. tomorrow morning. So, yeah, we'll see. Just skip it, enjoy the holidays? Nah, my New Year's resolution is to get back to covering the launches, so I might need to adjust my schedule around these Starlink launches that are happening at 11 every night, which is not a big deal. RTLS for LZ4. Yeah, Vandenberg. Yep. The USAF Museum in Dayton got an XQ-58. Oh. Ooh. A Kratos. That's cool. Yeah, look at that thing. That's pretty freaking cool. That thing is dangerous. And you know what the crazy part about that is, Limprod? That tells me it's not experimental anymore if they got the XQ-58. That tells me the Q-58 is operational. Off topic, have you ever tried to make the Convair Model 49 during Wings Wednesday? Nope. The heck is that? Apollo, you ever played StarCraft? No. Okay. Hold on. In StarCraft, there is this vehicle called, there's a faction called the Protoss, and the Protoss have this thing called a carrier. Now, the XQ-58 isn't the carrier, but the XQ-58 is basically these things. The carrier launches a bunch of drones, and the drones, well, they level things very, very fast. See it just absolutely just destroying those? Yep. So, those little drones, that's what the Q-58 is. And here's the thing. You know what an F-35 is, right? You guys know what the F-35 is. Pretty cool plane. You know it carries a pretty big price tag, right? See that thing right there? Pretty big price tag? Yeah, that can do what you just saw the Protoss carrier do with the Q-58s. The F-35 is designed to interface with Q-58s, and the pilot of an F-35 can command the Q-58s to do stuff. Yep. Yeah, Protoss carrier. They can literally, yeah, the Air Force is looking to Protoss carrier people. Yeah, no need for the battlecruiser, you just Protoss carrier people. And there's no need for a mothership either, because you could just deploy them from an aircraft carrier or whatever. So the F-35 kind of flies around and loiters, and on top of being stealth and being a disgustingly good air superiority fighter, it can interface with the Q-58s and really, really, really frick stuff up. Yeah. That's what at least that's what I think they're trying to do. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. We need flying aircraft carrier with these things. You know what? You know what's crazy? And I'm sure a lot of you guys would know about this. There was a concept during the Cold War of making the 747 into an aircraft carrier. Yes, you heard that right. It was a trade study that was done. Yeah. Yeah, there was a trade study to make a variant of the 747 a flying aircraft carrier. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Panic. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a video about it. Mustard has a video about it. Flying aircraft carriers aren't really. Yeah, they're recoverable too. Exactly. So you have refueling, right? We prove that you can rendezvous, like through in-flight refueling, you can rendezvous two planes together, no problem. So instead, there's a refueling boom, right? And there's the refueling boom basically can grab the plane, right? And think like a robotic arm on the space station. You could berth the plane and pull it in. That was to my comment before. Yep. That drone system that gets dumped by the pallet out of the back of the cargo pit. There's the drone system that gets dumped out. Yeah. Yeah, that thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the XF-85. We've experimented. The U.S. has experimented with it. The XF-85 Goblin. This thing is ridiculous. We've toyed with having airplanes deploy little mini fighters and stuff to fend off like anybody that gets near. Yeah, the reason why it's called the Goblin for a reason. The reason why we didn't go about doing that is because honestly, it's not. So like if you think about it here, right? You think about you know, the XF-85 and how, yeah, it was designed for a B-29 to be able to deploy it, right? If you're deploying fighters out of your bombers for defense, that means the enemy has already gotten to your bombers, which means you got a big problem. You have other problems to worry about than trying to fend off your bombers, all right? The war isn't fought like World War II where you send your bombers out willy-nilly and they can get caught without a fighter escort. That's not how I don't think that's how the modern battlefield works, right? Like, you don't want to do something like that. You want to ideally not have your bombers ever get near anybody because they're bombers. They're not fighters. Oh, the CL-1201. Yeah, Twisted. I wanted to make that in KSP. Yeah, you don't want anybody getting near your bombers. Yeah, the 1201 was also an insanely cool idea. That plane was awesome, dude. I'd want to make that in... I'd want to make this thing in Kerbal 1. It would be a lag fest, but we could probably do it. $1,200-foot wingspan. I mean, this would probably end up like Star Raker. The Star Raker build is one of my favorite builds that we've done in KSP1, but it's such a lag fest. It takes like 30 minutes for it to get up into space. What is this aircraft? So, Azimalak, this is a concept for the Lockheed CL-1201. It's a flying aircraft carrier. That's nuclear-powered flying aircraft carrier. Yep. Yeah, this thing would have made, like, the AN-225 look tiny. KSP-2 Star Raker, let's go. Procedural wings to the limit. If I can find a way to have the payload bay deploy correctly, we probably could get that done. I want to see the SERV build you were working on. Oh, yeah. Let's burn through KSP-2 science mode, and then we'll go from there. I want to play out science mode. I really want to make sure that science mode is right. And then once we kind of exhaust that, then we can go back to building cool stuff in KSP1. Not that we're not building cool stuff in KSP2, but I've played Juno off stream, dudes. Yeah, Juno New Horizons. I played it back when it was Simple Rockets. I haven't played it in a little while. But, yeah, it's good. I do miss you going far into the Kerbal system. Well, that's what I'm going to do, Ando. I'm not really trying to have, like, a succinct mission for our science, for the exploration mode playthrough that we're working on in KSP2. I'm not going to be like, oh, this is the 5th launch of this rocket, etc., etc. I'm just trying to play the game so I can get a feel for what Nate and company was trying to do. Like, what do you... Like, I'm trying to get... So at some point, right, in KSP2's development, there was a meeting discussing stakeholder expectations, right, for what exploration mode should be. I'm trying to play that so I can figure out what those things are, so I can try to see if, like, okay, this is what you were trying to do. Did you do it? And that's why, like, there's a lot of developers in the industry that value my feedback, because I'm very, we got to play the crap out of it. So I'm not trying to play KSP2 science mode right now. I'm not trying to play it EJ style. I'm trying to play it like how just anybody would play it, Yeah, it's cool, Aqualox. Yeah, it's really neat. Yeah, that Star Raker build though, man. Those engines that we developed, we should use those for something, We should use them for something. Anyway, so yeah, that was the Firefly launch. I changed the title up to Space and Rocket Review before we jump into KSP2 because the orbital launch mount at Starbase is venting right now. Also, Zonic took these pictures yesterday. He went back to Technic Museum Spire and took a lot more pictures. I kind of wanted to brush through these real quick. That's an IMAX projector. Nice. Oh, Bore 5. Look at that. It's a Buran wind tunnel test article. And there's OKGLI, which was the atmospheric flight test article for the Soviet Buran program. Solid first stage, stoke inspired second stage, boring parts sped up. What are your thoughts? I'll check it in a moment. The road was closed earlier today and was then reopened after a couple hours. Nothing will happen today unless they close it again. Got it. Got a random question. Is it useful to have multiple reaction wheels for a big rocket or no? More reaction wheels will make more torque, Maxim. Okay, so this is my personal play style. Most rockets that fly do not, in fact, I can think of like maybe one off the top of my head. Most rockets that fly nowadays do not have reaction wheels. Why? They're costly and they sap up a lot of power. The only types of satellites that have reaction wheels, the only type of space things that have reaction wheels on them are satellites, namely optics satellites. So Earth observation satellites, obviously reconnaissance satellites, space telescopes like James Webb or Hubble. There's not really a spacecraft that has gyros on board. They use the RCS for stabilization. So I don't like to use reaction wheels. The reason why is because if you could have a reaction wheel on your craft, that's all fine and dandy. In Kerbal, it doesn't make a difference. If you need a reaction wheel to fly your spacecraft into space, please just do it. I'm not like trying to gatekeep or anything, right? I don't like doing it because that's not how real rockets fly. Real rockets don't usually have reaction wheels on them. Like Firefly, the Alpha rocket that we just saw, there's no reaction wheels on that thing. There's thrusters. There's thrusters, and then there's thrust vector control on the engines. So there's, so like how many? I mean, if your rocket is aerodynamically unstable, you might need a reaction wheel to compensate for it. But the reason, and that's fine, do it. The reason why I don't do that is because it's bad. It's bad. I don't like sitting here and claiming that, oh, I know a lot about rockets. Oh, I can't get this rocket to fly. Better put a reaction wheel on it. That's not a good way to teach. That's why I don't do it. Because real rockets don't have gyros on them. And even if a rocket launches a payload with a gyroscope on it, the gyroscope's off during ascent. They turn it on when they get up there. Because the idea is that you don't want to saturate the gyro any more than you have to. The ISS has gyros. Yes, it does. It does, Animal. Yep. Mm-hmm. But even then, the gyroscopes are not nearly as powerful as the SAS. The gyros on the ISS, so it's hard to explain. The gyros on the ISS are probably the equivalent of maybe like the smallest reaction wheel in Kerbal 1. And even then, that thing zaps a lot of power. The ISS has gyros that are probably about this big. There's 4 of them. And those gyros basically keep the ISS pointed towards the ground. They keep the cupola facing towards the ground, so the ISS goes around the planet like this. The gyros in KSP are superbly overpowered. But that's for gameplay purposes, and I understand that. Speaking of spacecraft with gyros, Buran was supposed to have them, believe it or not. Yeah. Yeah, I rely on aerodynamic stability or making drag in certain spots to stabilize the vehicle. Like on my Jebstone C rocket, for instance, I have a fairing down at the bottom that's holding all my engines in place. That fairing creates a ton of drag on purpose to stabilize out the rocket. It's basically stabilizer. I use that instead of wings. You don't need wings. You can just you can put a fairing fuselage down at the bottom of your rocket. It'll make drag. You can do that in Kerbal 1. That's what I do. That's why you rarely ever see my rockets flip over, because I do tricks you do aerodynamic tricks to stabilize them to make them look like their real life counterparts. Yeah, those are the ISS, Chief. The picture that you linked up here, those are the ISS gyros. That's on the Z1 truss segment. Yep. You got 4 reaction wheels. And, dude, those things, like maybe those 4 things combined are as powerful as the smallest reaction wheel in Kerbal, and they probably zap up like way more power.
Discovery.
I
go
saw
at
an
throttle
object
up.
in the lower right quadrant of the moon today. You saw an object. It's probably something transiting the moon, but yeah, that's cool. 4 for
Discovery,
redundancy.
go at throttle up.
Yeah, they're all redundant. It's a redundant system. They're all running, to be clear. They're all running, but if one fails, that's okay. So gyros can saturate, guys. Basically, you spin, right? And in order to like, if you have a force that pushes it in one direction, it spins even more. You have to spin faster to correct it. And the gyro can saturate. It can get to like maximum RPM really fast if you're not careful. You don't want to saturate the gyroscopes. That's not good for them. Because yeah, eventually the thing can't spin fast enough. It hits its maximum RPM and you can't compensate anymore. Hey, for 160 months and Max with a 5-month resub. Thanks. Yeah, sure. Thanks for doing what you're doing it with style. Well, I'm trying. What's the total cost to build the ISS? Incalculable. Amarok, billions of dollars. But the understanding on how to live in space is worth the price, in my opinion. Hey, Talby, what's going on? Caps lock is cruise control for cool, Talby. But even with cruise control, you still got to steer. Remember that, okay? Artemis 2 has started assembly. Yep, they started stacking the boosters. Yep. Yeah, Bandit, I wanted to show this yesterday, but thank you for linking it up. You reminded me. Check it out. They started putting the aft skirts on the SRB aft segments. That's the nozzle for the Artemis 2 SRBs. And these will be taken and put on ML1 sooner rather than later. Isn't it like $3 billion a year just to have it up there? It's expensive, Doom. Yeah, of course. Yeah, the operating cost of the ISS is huge. It's a very complicated system, and a lot of those systems are old, so it takes some time to. It takes a lot of time to keep them working. Any news on the core stage? There was a Sloss article that Novus linked me up the other day, Phil, that I haven't finished going through, but the Artemis 2 core stage has all the engines attached, I'm pretty sure. The operating costs aren't that high, Forlorn. The operating costs are up there, though. It does eat a good chunk, but it's worth it. You know, your utility bill eats a good chunk of your electricity bill eats a good chunk of your, income, right? But you're not going to not have that. Why? Because electricity. 2030 is the end date, Silver Soul. Yep. Personally, I think an idea that was floated in 2018, 2019 is a good idea. I think they should sell the ISS. Gov auctions that thing so commercial operators can operate it, because right now NASA has a replacement plan called Commercial Low Earth Orbit Destinations that's trying to leverage the commercial industry to not make one ISS replacement, but like 4 or 5 smaller space stations to try and bolster the low Earth orbit commercial economy. But, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm greedy. We should do that too. But Cleod is underfunded and it's falling behind schedule. So I think a good way in the meantime to leverage the commercial industry would be to sell the ISS when you're done with it. Just saying. You're looking for commercial space stations, right? You have a space station. You don't need it anymore. Sell the damn thing if you don't want it. Somebody will buy it. Oh, Psycho has ad time. Oh, roll D20. You rolled 17. You dickhole. You damn dill hole. All right. What, let's see. What did I roll? All right. This is from yesterday, so I knew it.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Today is not going to be a good day. Gary, 66-month resub. I'll buy the toilet and demand a fee for usage. I'm going to be rich. Yeah. The complaining about privatizing the ISS would be insane. When it was floated back in 2019, Hellfish, yeah, it was not met with a good response. But I think it's a good idea. If you're not going to use it, Why let the thing burn up? All that work, especially if they don't have replacements, because the commercial low Earth orbit destinations program is way behind schedule because it's been underfunded. What do you want? You know, if NASA wants to transition the Earth to low Earth orbit economy, a good thing would be to sell their facilities to do it, not let the ISS deorbit and then hope a bunch of commercial companies would get their, you know, space stations in line in time for the retirement at the end of the decade. Or the other thing to do would be, I think this would also be a good idea, is don't sell the ISS. What you should do is pay SpaceX or pay somebody. You could have ULA with their lofted heat shields. Pay someone to deorbit the modules and bring them back down, you know, intact to test payload down mass capability, something that NASA hasn't had since they retired the space shuttle. What do the Russians, Japanese, and Europeans want to do with it? Don't know. The Russians only have the Zvezda, Prichal, and Nauka modules. The Zarya module, the functional cargo block, is ours. We bought it from them. The U.S. owns it. The Russians operate it. I don't know what they want to do with that. They've had talks of taking those, you know, when the ISS is done, taking Nauka and Zvezda and Prichal and Pirs, or Poisk, excuse me, and removing them and building another space station. But talk is cheap in the spaceflight industry, dude. I could say I want to start a aerospace company that revitalizes the X-33 program. All right, great. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. I could probably do it in Kerbal, though. Wait, I tried that once. It didn't end well. Anyway, you see what I'm saying? Talk is cheap. They've said that's what they want to do, but who knows? Like I said, talk is cheap. Honestly, I'd be worried about selling. It's very old and might be kind of dangerous giving it to people without experience. Deorbiting it and making a museum is your favorite solution. Yeah. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm sending messages out left and right. Once again, I've been trying to get better at answering emails. Sometimes I got to do it during work. Because sometimes by the end of the day, I have like 300 emails. Maybe not 300. More like 100. A lot of people want to get your attention, apparently. I don't know what that's about. I don't know. I was never the popular kid in high school, man. I have no idea. Is this what this is? Could you remove a number of modules and sell the rest for recovering asteroid material? Recovering asteroid material? Nah. You mean 1,000 emails, something like that. Show them the box. It's funny because that's who that email was from, Bree. Oh, you think I'm kidding? I did write that on there, but that's because I had to take the shipping label off. Dude, dude. See what I mean? Dude, this hat's killer. It's like parachute material. That's freaking cool, man. Oh my gosh, Bree, Rockstar got me socks. Oh dear. These are Rockstar socks, man. I asked for socks for Christmas. I'm not even kidding. That's so all right. Okay. What else is in here? What? What is this? Someone's grandma works in their marketing department. I guess. I don't even know what this is. It looks like a bag or something. Bro. Yo, this is super freaking nice. Dude, Rockstar has the best merch. No questions asked. Rockstar has the best merch. This is like, it's not denim, but look at this thing. It's thick. You want it thick. Freaking Rockstar grocery bag. I'm going to, dude, I will go to the store with this. Put my groceries in and be like, yo, that's a Rockstar bag. Yeah, I do business with them. That's freaking killer, man. It's not... Yeah, it's not canvas. I mean, yeah, actually, it kind of feels like it. It's thick. It's thick cotton, man. Like here, look. You want it thick. Digital. Did you just smell it? It smells like a shoe store. You know that shoe store smell? Like that rubbery new shoes smell? Hey, buddy, nice shoes. Wofford. They're real comfortable shoes. What else we got in here? Rockstar Games with compliments. Bro, these guys are the best. And I wasn't on board with the whole, you know, putting cars behind the paywall thing, but they the GTA 6 trailer kind of bucked that. I really appreciate this stuff. Dude, black on black Rockstar hoodie. Actually, oh, long sleeve tee. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What are the compliments? I don't know. Dude, Rockstar is a bunch of G's, dude. That's so cool. This stuff is legit. This is a really nice hoodie. What brand is it? Hold on. It's just Rockstar's brand. Rockstar would have their own clothing line. Like, why wouldn't they? That's so freaking cool, dude. Check that out. Blacked out logo. That's badass. The sweatshirt is good for working on the trucks. Dude, I don't even know if... I don't want to ruin this. This is super nice. Actually, man, you know what, dude? Full disclosure, they love Hunt the Streamer. They love it. Oh yeah, they really were into it. So that's super freaking cool. It's like, dude, you never know who's watching, man. They sent me an email just out of the blue one time. They're like, dude, Hunt the Streamer's baller. Come talk to us. I'm like, whatever happened to Hunt the Streamer? I took a break from GTA for a little while, Tipsy. The reason why I did it was because Rockstar changed the way you buy cars in GTA 5 and put a lot of stuff behind a paywall. But they have since added a feature in that that allows you to be able to buy cars from other players and stuff. So like I wasn't sure for a little while. For a while I was like, oh man, I don't want to have people to pay for their, like, have to pay money to come race with us on Saturday. But like you can clone your car and sell it to other players for a price. You still have to grind out money, but yeah, super cool actually. Yeah, and the hackers. Yeah, the hacking situation got bad, but this is freaking sweet, man. The fact that they're still thinking of us over here after all this time really makes me happy. That's super cool of them. Super freaking cool. This stuff is nice. It's really nice. Like, look at that. It's parachute hat. It's made out of parachute material. These are super nice socks. 80% cotton, 17 polyester, 3 span, machine wash cold, tumble dry low, do not bleach. Dude, unbelievable. Yeah, Rockstar's merch is unmatched, dude. Unmatched. It's the best. You gonna put on that hat or what? You're damn right I will. They have the best merch, bar none. But, like, that's legit to me. They, Rockstar should have the best merch. You know what I'm saying? Like, they should. That makes sense. Because it's, like, flashy, right? That's awesome. I think that's so cool. My favorite thing, dude, and this is so legit, their business cards. I'm not going to show it, obviously. Their business cards look like Paul Allen's business card. No joke. Yeah, business cards look like Paul Allen's. Impressive. Very nice. Let's see Paul Allen's card. I'm serious. The raised print, the texture, exactly like Paul Allen's business card from American Psycho. Yep. Impressive. Very nice. Let's see Paul Allen's card. You like Huey Lewis in the news? Impressive. Very nice. Let's see Paul Allen's card. I have no clue what you're referencing. So American Psycho, Drummer, is a movie from 2000. And it has Christian Bale in it. And it's about a guy that is a psychopath. Like textbook, like narcissistic personality disorder in the 1980s. So he's like a New York 1980s yuppie. Like, who? Hey. I was too busy being an 80s guy. Like, suits and just the crazy over-the-top excess lifestyle, right? And the guy's actually crazy. He's like a nut bar. And he kills people. Yeah, the whole idea behind American Psycho is, that's a good way to put it. It's a satirization of like 1980s excess culture. Like, the guy is a complete nutter. Christian Bale's excellent in that movie, but it's kind of a cult movie. It's definitely a weird flick. You don't watch that like one night and be like, yeah, let's watch American Psycho tonight. It's crazy. Like it's like part dark comedy, part like horror movie, all just ridiculous. It's a really good flick, actually. It's a good movie, but it's a cult movie. So, yeah. In one of the scenes in the movie, they're talking about business cards, right? Right? They're talking about business cards and they're comparing business cards, and Christian Bale's character gets pissed off because the boss's card is better than his business card. He's like, yeah, look at my card. My card's really good. And he's like, yeah. Everybody's like, oh yeah, it's good, but it's not Paul Allen's card. He looks at Paul Allen's card, he gets all pissed off because it's amazing. And yeah, see? There it is right there. He's like, oh, the texture. I love it. I had to have it, right? he gets all pissed off because the guy's business card is better than his. My God, it even has a watermark. Amazing. I had to have it. And it's funny because he gets all pissed off because the guy has a better business card than him. Dude, it's super good. It's an experience. I would say on similar lines of Clockwork Orange. It's something you have to sit and really take in. Yeah. Is that where that meme comes from? Yep. Impressive. Very nice. Telex. Oh my goodness. Yeah, fax machine too. But yeah, Rockstar's cards, they're actual, the business cards of like actual Rockstar people looks exactly like that. And they handed it to me one time I was hanging around with Rockstar people at TwitchCon, and they handed me their cards, and I'm like, I am not 100% sure if I should make this reference right now. Like, you could be damn sure that if I go hang out with them again, you could be damn sure that that's gonna happen. I'll be like, impressive, very nice. Let's see Dan Houser's card. Oh, I had to have it. No, I didn't make the reference, Tessa, because I wasn't sure. But then again, I was like, dude, you ever go to a place, right, and you are like just completely outclassed, right? Like, I got invited to Rockstar's VIP booth at TwitchCon 2019. I got invited to their VIP booth, and I was wearing like con gear, so just a hoodie, with a bunch of tags, crazy hat, just jeans, right? And like, walking shoes, because you're gonna be doing a lot of walking. I go to the VIP booth, everybody's wearing suits. There's like a bar and stuff, and like a fountain. And dude, it was ridiculous. It was like I was a character in GTA, where you go to this super fancy place and your character in GTA is like wearing a tie-dye shirt, and you're just like, and they're like, come over here, you will be seated now. I'm like, what the frick is going on? So I was like completely out of my element, dude. And they're like, please sit. So, where did you come up with the idea for Hunt the Streamer? I'm like, me and my buddies made it up. It's based off of a YouTube series. I don't know why, but I have to tell you the truth. I feel like I'm going to be wearing concrete shoes if I don't. Yeah, it's completely over the top. Yeah, it's awesome. It's so cool. I'm like, when your custom character shows up in a cutscene, dude, it felt exactly like that. I was like, so they handed me the card, and I'm like, that's American Psycho. But I was just like, oh, thank you very, very much. I gotta go now. Oh my god. Those guys are cool. I like the way they do things. It's actually super neat. Super freaking cool. Yeah, Bojo. I mean, people keep buying it, dude. I always say vote with your wallet. If people are going to keep buying those damn shark cards, they're going to keep doing it. Why would they stop? Did you see that Dan Houser's new company is working on a graphic novel and an audio fiction series? Cool. Yeah, Dan left. Sam is still there. GTA was thought up by two brothers, Sam and Dan Houser. Like, they're the reason why Rockstar exists. Those guys have nothing but my utmost respect. The games that they've facilitated over the years are absurdly good. They make video games about organized crime, and you think they wouldn't have thought of that joke? No, exactly. Like, it makes perfect sense. It's awesome. It's so freaking cool, dude. I'm still on RDR2 and loving it. RDR2 is a masterpiece. Freaking masterpiece. But yeah, full disclosure, guys, they sent that to me because I'm part of their content creation. I'm part of their content creator team. Like, here, see? They're good people. They're good, Like, they should. They should be like that. Bree's calling me. What's up? You're on stream. What's up?
Hi, stream. I'm looking for the wooden rolling pin. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay.
Check, you know, next to where the records are?
I just looked there, and I was trying to...
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I don't think it's in there. I don't know.
Night 2 slider.
Because I haven't seen it in a long time. I never use it. But I'll keep looking.
We have a small house, all systems. What do you want? But we have a big garage, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
Check downstairs.
I looked down there, too. That was the first place I went. And I was just wondering if maybe you had seen it around. I guess I can try to figure out what 1/4 of an inch looks like. Darn it.
You couldn't have gone far, baby. You tried, like, I'm going to sound like a jerk, but try moving some stuff around downstairs. It's got to be down there.
I did. It's too packed in there. Like, we gotta clean that room out.
Okay.
And I'm not just saying that because I want to clean that room out. I'm saying it because I looked, to tell you I looked.
So check in the blue room then.
I looked there too.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Alright.
Pots and pans drawer?
Maybe?
Try there.
If you don't know, if you haven't seen it, that's fine, but sometimes you remember seeing things.
Pots and pans drawer. Try that one. Go on.
I'm looking. Yes, it's right in the middle there. I'm a dum-dum. Alright.
I'll see you later.
I love you.
Bye-bye. Love you.
Bye.
Hey, steel trap. It's good for something. It wasn't in the blue room. Pots and pans drawer. Is Hunt the Streamer on PC only? Well, yeah. Am I the only person that's been followed by Blue Origin and Rockstar? What can I say, Boxy? I'm into a lot of things. You got to diversify. That's the name of this game. Diversification. Anyway. Oh, yeah. Truck update, too. Check out the, Can you find me my shed keys? They have gone missing. Where do you usually put them, Thumper? I'm good at this. Trust me. Does Ford follow you? I don't think so. Not where they should be, that's for sure. So, here's my thought process. I have spots for things. My keys go here. Wallet goes here. Phone goes here. Every time, without fail. The only time I ever lose something is when I do something different than my normal routine. So if I put my phone down somewhere else. Okay, so you got to think, where's the last time you saw your keys? What were you doing? What were you working on? You know, you're missing your shed keys, so you're obviously going to see something, get something in the shed. What were you doing? Were you mowing the lawn? What'd you do with the lawnmower? Did you take the lawnmower, did you put it in the garage instead of the shed? You take a shovel out, put the shovel in the garage, your keys are probably near that. No, Thumper did the big no-no and put the keys in the safe place. I don't get upset if I put something down where it doesn't, like not in the normal spot. That doesn't bother me. It's like if my routine gets screwed up, that's okay. That's fine. Your routine's gonna get screwed up. Life happens, right? But that's how I'm easily able to find stuff. Okay, what screwed up my routine? What was I doing? So my key, like the keys to my shop, are not where they should be. Okay, what would prompt me to put the keys somewhere else? Why would I put the keys somewhere else in the house? They obviously haven't gone far. Nobody touched them, right? So maybe I had dirty clothes from working in the shop. So in which case I wouldn't put my keys in the normal spot. I would go to the laundry room and put my clothes immediately in the washer and the dryer. So you go down there, you know, obviously you're not going to throw your keys into the dryer or the washer with, you know, still attached to your pants, right? So let's go check the laundry. Oh, wait, there they are. Done. That's how I remember things. Yeah, Ezzy, I can only imagine. Like, I don't get upset when I can't find something. I just, like, if my routine gets screwed up, so be it. It happens. Sometimes I change the spot. Sometimes my routine gets messed up and I encounter a better routine and I just put it down somewhere else. And I'm like, oh, this is a better spot for it. This makes more sense from a UX perspective, right? I don't remember what I did last week. Everything is back where it should be, and I'm scared they're in the shed now. A likely possibility. I look at tattoos to remember things. And there you go. Yeah, reverse engineer your day. Just go and trace your steps and don't get upset. Getting upset doesn't find you your damn keys. You know what I mean? That doesn't help. It's like when you're working on a car. I never get upset when I'm working on a car. I used to. And what does that solve? That doesn't solve anything. You're just going to throw a hammer at the wall because you think you're on a reality TV show. Oh, we're going to lose this shop. Dude, just shut up and fix it. Figure out what's going on and fix it. Just like what we do in KSP or cities or whatever. Just figure it out. 5-head. Getting mad about it isn't going to solve anything. It's not, you know, oh my God, I can't get this bolt undone. All right. Go get a torch and frickin' make it liquid then. Go get a torch and make the damn thing liquid. You're gonna let a bolt ruin your frickin' day? It's an extra step. There's no need for the extra step. Oh, speaking of that, here. Can't be stuck if it's liquid. Yeah, there you go, right? Here, check this out. Look at the hood. That's just bolt fumes with extra steps. Yeah, check that out. Paint's coming around, dudes. It is extremely difficult getting that paint off of the hood. The reason why is because it's set in the sun and the paint cured. It really is stubborn. That's why I haven't done the entire hood. Wait, why would they get stuck? Rust. The Phantom pre-order is on sale for $60 instead of $80 right now. Just saying. Yeah, it's the paint. Yeah, the spray paint on that truck that's on the hood, it cured in the sun. Is it going to be all white? Yep. Blast it off? Well, Ezzy, here's the thing. The factory paint is under there. It's under the spray paint, and it looks good. Oh, that's not the right thing. The factory paint is there. That's the factory paint. I can get the spray paint off with acetone and brake cleaner, believe it or not, and a lot of scrubbing, right? That's the factory paint. If you get it off and you cut it and you buff it, look, it shines. It shines. Look at how shiny that is. Like, you could see the reflection of the posters on my wall in the quarter panel. That's 25-year-old paint. If anything, the spray paint on top of it protected it, right? I still need to cut and buff it. And I haven't cut and buffed the hood. That's just getting all the crap off of it. It's not a 92 Osaka, it's a 97. 97 F250. Why was it sprayed? Previous owner sprayed it. It was on a YouTube channel, Ezzy. Yeah. This was, if you guys have ever watched Hoonigan on YouTube, the Hoonigan F250 from Scumbag Labs, the F2 Shitty. Yeah. I bought it from them because they streamed on Twitch and they were selling it and I wanted it because I think it's a cool truck. Legit question. I guess you haven't removed the hood for paint removal. Why not? Why would I? Why would I remove the hood? It's a pain in the butt. You have to align the damn thing. That's why I'm just getting the stuff off and I'm not taking any of the truck apart. I'm just sit there, some elbow grease, it'll come off. Yeah, Ezzy, there you go. Yeah, that's the F2 Shitty, the one that they did plywood burnouts with. Yep. I bought it from them. I bought it from Scotto and Hurt and Vin. Vin actually left, so did Hurt. Interestingly enough. Repost. By the way, as into aircraft as you are, why have you not gotten into DCS at all? Fear of just playing that all day? Is Under the Hood factory white? Yeah, Ron. Yep. It's a California truck because, you know, Hoonigan. It's a California truck, dude. It's real clean under there. I've actually... So, I mean, the truck was tired when I got it, and it got the trash beaten out of it on Hoonigan's YouTube channel because they didn't think somebody would buy it after, so they beat the snot out of it. Whatever, that's fine. But I thought it would be funny because I have a weird sense of humor to take a truck that, you know, in internet lore is called the F2 Shitty and make it not shitty. Excuse my language, it's the name. Like, I don't like swearing on stream during the day. So I've been trying to get the spray paint off and then cut and buff it back. We want to make it the F2 Pretty. Exactly, 2Slider. Yep. You didn't just buy it from them. You flew out to LA, fixed it, traveled across the entire country, and proposed to my wife. That's right. Yep. So I think it'd be funny to make the truck that was known as the F2 Shitty, make it super freaking nice and make it really cool. It needs its own Insta. Yeah, I should start posting that stuff on Insta. Yeah, the freaking wheel came off. That's why that wheel is gray, because that rim got totally thrashed on. It would be fun to teach you the Harrier in DCS, even though I nitpick about the details they get wrong. I mean, Twisted, when Flight Simulator came out, dude, I had actual pilots just up on Discord with me, teaching me about this stuff. Like, you know, there's being overconfident when you're a pilot, right? Oh yeah, I can do it, no problem. And then, you know, you're overconfident, you lose situational awareness, and you crash, right? There's being overconfident, and then there's knowing, like straight confidence. Like, if you put me at the, you know, you put me behind the yoke of like a 152 Cessna, I could fly that thing, no problem. Yeah. I'm confident in my abilities. I'd be able to fly it. I know what to do. Not like some Sky King stuff. I could fly it and nobody would know. You know, I learned all the pre-flight checks for a 172, you know, checking the fuel, like doing all the pre-flight stuff. You know, I know where all the switches are. I know what every switch does on the dash of that dang thing. Because I had actual pilots teach me how to fly in Flight Sim. Like, if you put me behind a 152, we could fly it around. I'll even know the calls. Like, I could radio the tower, etc. Like, I know how to do that. I know how the radio works. But I don't have a pilot's license. But I'm confident that I could do it because, once again, we played Flight Sim for a month straight. Like I binging cities like I just did. I played Flight Simulator for a month straight, flying a Cessna 152 and a Citation CJ4. I probably have, I don't know, 100 hours on each plane in Flight Sim, though. Like, I could do it. I know what I'm doing. Like, I had a CJ4 pilot teach me how to configure the inertial guidance on a CJ4, even though that's not in the game. Like, I could do it. Inertial guidance on planes are huge, especially if you have a modern navigation system. Getting the plane to figure out where it is. Did you see the plane on Cleater's channel last night? I haven't had a chance to watch Cleater. Yeah, Scott can fly, Forlorn. Yep. That's cool, Twisted. Could you fly a 1040's Taylor craft? I don't know what that is. That sounds like a golf club to me, CW. Your flying isn't the issue, it's landing. I can land a plane. Scott Manley is the DJ for Tim Dodge Astor Awards show. Cool. Scott does, in fact, fly safe. Wolfie, you made a huge mistake in stationeers. I think I melted down my screwdriver. And even building the tool manufacturer needs a screwdriver. Oops. I don't know, Twisted. Maybe we'll jump into it one of these days. That'd be fun. Maybe when the Phantom comes out. Actually, pretty good content is just putting me in the seat of like a Phantom or something. That's what I did when Flight Sim first came out. I was like, okay, put me in the seat of this plane and we'll see if we can get it off the ground. So all the pilots that watched the stream were laughing at me pretty hard, but it was funny. It was a good time. Thumper, you went to school to be a pilot. The final sim for the class was to land a 172 on a carrier deck. Had the shortest runoff. Nice. Nice. The Phantom has a dual cockpit. We can fly pilot at Rio in the Phantom. Oh. Cool. But yeah, that's a update on the truck, update on everything. I think we're good. You guys want to go play Kerbal? I assume you saw that Frank Borman passed away. Yeah. Shame. We still got Bill Anders and Jim Lovell though. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I got the truck all figured out. Actually, you know, if you were asked about seeing under the hood, give me 1 second, okay? This isn't a picture. Give me 1 second. I'll show you. How's that? Very convincing video there. Yeah. No, it's pre-recorded. How many horsepowers can that baby fit? I mean, you could put a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of room. What's the rear end for? Camaro. Do the springs work on the hood? Does it stay up? Yeah, of course it does. Dude, Sawyer, you don't understand. Like, there's a reason why. Well, you probably do. There's a reason why I decided to just clean the, like, actually sit there and scrub that, like, 4 coats of spray paint off. Because this thing is clean. It's very, very clean. Dude, and once again, Hoonigan took some stuff off, like the intakes and stuff, and they took the covers off and everything. I went around to junkyards and found covers in good condition, and the thing is basically mechanically it's stock. The only thing it really doesn't have is the trailer brakes hooked up, and then because I screwed up the trailer brake harness so badly, I got to rewire it, and just being lazy. But other than that, the truck is basically back to 100% stock. It's a little bit, some parts are banged up, but yeah. And I got to hook up the rear fuel tank too, but that's another story. Springs work. The paint obviously is in mint condition. It's really not bad. There's no rust. There's no rust on that truck. California truck. No rust. Nothing. The rockers are perfect. The fenders are perfect. The bed's perfect. No rust. Looks brand new. Paint is cooked on your truck. I'm sure you've seen it. It needs new paint. It was a beater. Yep. You have a Camaro. Yeah, Bandit. It's Ernox. It's Ernox Camaro. We have a full suspension kit for it. Yeah. Full suspension kit for it. That's a posi rear end. It's a 92 Camaro. We're gonna work on that in March of next year. I need to take a week off in March because we gotta get Ernox Camaro here. The Camaro is not in Compton, where the F-250 was. It's in San Diego. Just saying. Yeah, I think so, Twisted. We're probably going to trailer it, guys. Yeah. We're probably going to trailer it, but we haven't got those plans figured out. You thinking about streaming that? Yeah. We might need a truck to tow it, though. So about them trailer brakes. Ah, shoot. Here we go again. I also need the third week off in January. For reasons. Do the Hinnegans have another truck for sale? I don't know. You gonna four-wheel drive the F-250 before going? I don't know, Tessa. Probably not. I'm probably just gonna get the thing ship shape and go from there. Is that a launch in Boca? No. No. You're insane for driving to Cali again. That would kill you. Dude, it's fun. I enjoy the hell out of it, Sawyer. It's a really good time. I like driving, dude. I could do it all day. Like I can stream. I don't know what it is about it. I can just do it. I like it. So you're going to miss the next IFT. Got it. We'll see. How far do you think you could get in Kerbal with just the starting parts? Starkiller, I could probably make that the launch vehicle, the Jebstone C that we're using, we could probably make that go. Probably use that for a good while. That launch vehicle that we made with the clustered tanks and the clustered engines is actually super good. And, you know, if we just give some small upgrades, extend the payload fairing, we can increase payload capacity. And, yeah, it's actually a really nice little vehicle. You're hungover after a Christmas party last night. Feels good. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm trying to just get this thing all ship shape and go from there. That is probably just about the furthest point A to B that you could possibly choose for the continental U.S. Well, I drove that truck from Compton, from Los Angeles. Compton, California is where it was. Ernock, me, and Scary fixed it in a parking lot and got it good enough to drive across the entire country. And then as I drove across the country, I stopped at junkyards and fixed more parts. I do, but my back really hurts after 8 hours of driving. Well, stop driving like this then. Stop driving with the lean. That kills your freaking back. Sit there and drive at 10 and 2. There's a reason why you do that, not to be with both hands on the wheel. You can even do one at 12. If you sit up straight, it's fine. Where did you sleep? Just at hotels. Space Brew, yeah. I don't want no scrubs. Remember to change the oil when you get to San Diego or ship the truck there and drive it back. Change the oil. Okay. Yeah, I will. It's freaking mint. Are you going to paint the passenger side a white strip to match? That's not paint, Denny. That's not a stripe that I painted on there, like how we painted the door. That's the factory paint. I'm getting the spray paint off. There's 4 coats of spray paint, and it's 4 coats of spray paint that's been on a hood that's sitting in the sun in California. All the paint cured. It's really, really tough to get it off. But you won't look gangster driving with the lean. The lean, I like it. Stop driving with the lean. It'll kill your back. Have you showed Hurt the paint progress? Actually, I haven't, dude. I kind of wanted to wait until the whole thing was done, so he could be like, what the frick? I'll send it to him on Insta, dude, when it's done. The next road trip, you should drive it to the moon. I've never road tripped before, but do you just find hotels on the side of the road? Well, you can do that, Space Brew, if you want to. The good thing to do, the best thing to do would be to go to Google Maps, right, and figure out where you're going to need to gas up, right? And figure out where you're going to need to gas up and look around for a name brand hotel and then call them before you get there to see if they have an open room and then make a reservation and show up. It's pretty straightforward, dude. There's hotels across the entire U.S. And they're not like some sketchy hotels either. There's like always a Hilton or a Motel 6 or something. Or yeah, you could, well, that's the co-pilot's job, Remo. You could have your wife figure out what hotel you want at the end of the night. Yeah, of course. That's the co-pilot's job. That's your job, not the driver's job. Yeah, you could, yeah, if you don't want to call ahead, you could just show up. Just show up, be like, hey, I need a room for the night. Okay. Was thinking about doing a road trip across Yellowstone in the C8 with a girlfriend this coming summer. Just have to pack light due to the lack of storage space. Yep. Yeah, a lot of them are open 24 hours. You just roll up. My co-pilot's job is to sleep. We got places to be. Yeah, I will say if Ernok and I did it, we'd probably just trade shifts that way. You know, when you got a 2-driver crew, you just swap back and forth. Co-pilot sleeps because there are vast swaths of the journey across this country where it's just a straight line for hundreds of miles. You don't need to do anything. You just drive straight. We were in the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma, and I found a Holiday Inn across from a cattle show. It was a stockyard, Bree. Veneta Stockyards. Yearly, Florida to Michigan in 18 hours. Nice, dude. I'm Mark Graves out past Terlingua. Yep. Brought an artillery strike. Leveled an entire city block. Yeah, I got you. Anyway. Still got the shovels. Yep, that's the paint. It's, yeah, that hood paint is very, very stubborn. Doesn't want to come off. You still have the Solstice. That's a cool car. It's neat. Yep. But it is coming, man. How's that look? It's definitely shining. I'm gonna get all of it off. I'm gonna get all the paint off. I want the truck white, except for the roof. I want to see if we can save that paint up there on the roof because that has like Hoonigan's logo on it and stuff. You can kind of see it up there, but I don't know. If I can't save it, we'll repaint it and then I'll just paint a Hoonigan logo up there. But yeah, there's 4 coats of freaking spray paint on that thing. That's a cat. Oh, that's the NASA cat. Nice. There's 4 coats of spray paint on that thing, so yeah, because the truck was white when Hoonigan got it, and then they painted it blue and white, and then they painted it black on top of that, and then they painted it red and silver on top of that. It's yeah. So there's like 4 coats of spray paint. Because some parts of the hood are blue and white because they painted like clouds on it to make it look like a Ben & Jerry's truck. You'd have to go watch the YouTube video. So it was blue with white on it. So in some parts there's blue paint on top of the factory paint with white paint on top of that, right? With black paint on top of that, with red paint on top of that. And once again, if you have paint that has sun shining on it and it heats up, it'll cure the paint, so it gets very stubborn to get off there. Oh, nice, Twisted. There you go. Cool. No, in layers? No. It's just the colors that they painted it over the years. Here, I'll show you real quick. Yeah, so in season 1, they had it white. Hang on. There it is right there. They had the thing just, it was just white. And that's Dan. Dan's cool. He doesn't work at Hoonigan anymore, though. There it is. Man, the window is still in good condition at that point. Jeez. Yeah, mine has that dent right there. That dent's in the cab corner. What are you using to get it off? Acetone and brake cleaner and a freaking mask, because that stuff reeks. So found someone with a 77 Maverick for sale. Think it would be a good project. Link it to me, Dave. Show the burnouts. Yeah, they put plywood wheels on it and then did that.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Yeah, that's my truck. Hey, Marco. Happy Friday. Yep. Yep. That's my truck. Yeah, brake clean and acetone. Yep, it gets the spray paint off, but it keeps the factory paint on. I don't know why it does that. I'm not sure if this truck has like lacquer paint on it or something, but yeah, for whatever reason, it doesn't take the factory coat off. I was surprised too. Booster 10, the Booster 10 stand is rolling. Wonder what's going on. Yeah, I have Starbase up there. Yeah, interesting. No one works at Hoonigan anymore. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, dude. Yep. That's the truck. Did you think you'd have to repaint the front initially? No. It still has that crappy exhaust on it, minus the Buzzuzuku. I just have a pipe that goes back. I thought I would have to repaint it, RJ. And then one day... So, what started... How I figured out that you could do that and you could get the exhaust nice and... You could... Or not the exhaust. You could get the truck clean is... I was looking for the build sticker. Probably about a year. Actually, this was even... This was probably about a year and a half ago. I was looking for the build sticker. So there's a serial number and a build sticker on the driver's side door, and it was covered in spray paint. I found it. It was covered in spray paint, and I'm like, you know, I wonder if I can, like, put, like, gasoline or something, or acetone or brake clean or something on this and get at the logo. So I tried a bunch of different things, and then I sprayed brake clean on it, and I wiped it, and it took it right off, and I was able to see where the truck was made, when it was manufactured, all the specs for the vehicle, right? It's the build. It's basically the serialized build sheet for it, which is cool. It's like a little sticker that they put on the inside of the driver's door. So I got at it, and then I noticed as I wiped it away, it like there was white paint under there, and I'm like, huh. And so I did a little more, and I realized that you can get the spray paint off, but it doesn't take the factory paint off, and I was like, okay. So ever since then, I've been just going little by little and just getting more and more of that paint off.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Set the toes. What's going on, buddy? Did you get into space yesterday? Hoonigan got bought out? You think so? Who bought them? Wooden wheels are apparently good for the shop. Oh, yeah. Dr. Longballs, you did? Yeah. So, yeah, that's the truck, dude. I'm trying to make it not crappy. Yep.
Discovery, go at throttle.
Plywood burnouts, man. But yeah, that's, I'm trying to get it to basically look like that again. Except not with that dented bumper. Said it does with the 5 months. Oh, I got there. Just completed the Minmus Anomaly Challenge. Now I have no idea how to get to Duna. Transfer to solar orbit and go from there. I mean, I could show you how to do that. That's not. But yeah, that's it. I'm trying to get it to look like that. I want it plywood burnout spec. Hoonigan, they merged with Wheel Pros? I don't... They expanded into media with the acquisition of Hoonigan. From what I understand, Hoonigan's branded website will significantly change. Huh. Interesting. So media conglomerate bought off the Hoonigan brand. That was even before Ken passed away. Gave up on this KSP project. It has 20 SRBs in the first stage. Oh, this was like super recent. Hoonigan unveils a fresh identity reflecting a strategic evolution in the company's vision and focus. This is from Yahoo Finance. October 25th, 2023, Wheel Pros, a leading provider of aftermarket vehicle enhancements, announced today it is rebranding Hoonigan collectively, the company, effective immediately. The new name embraces the spirit of automotive culture and signifies the company's dedication to expanding its impact and fostering passion in the industry. As Hoonigan, the company, it's called The Company. The company aims to connect with a broader audience of automotive enthusiasts, acknowledging that the industry's landscape has evolved since its inception. Hoonigan was originally the brainchild of Ken Block, a visionary and pioneer in the racing world. As Hoonigan, the company intends to build upon Block's important legacy of leading a trailblazing community driven by passion for motorsports and the enthusiast community. Hoonigan's new vision statement: we provide the passion that keeps dreams in motion. It signifies a worldwide initiative to bring enhancements to a broad range of consumers. From track enthusiast to off-road adventures, as well as casual commuter and everything in between. We're thrilled to embark on this exciting journey as Hoonigan, said Randy White, the CEO of Hoonigan. This rebranding represents our commitment to not only embracing the rich heritage of automotive culture, but also expanding our horizons to welcome a growing community of enthusiasts. We look forward to creating meaningful connections, supporting creativity, and pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the automotive industry. Yeah, Vin, I know. Yeah, this was like super recent. That's, I suppose that's why Vinny left. So it's Hoonigan the company now. Hold on. It said the company in quotes. Hold on. Wheel Pros changed their name to Hoonigan. Oh, they rebranded. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I haven't watched it either. Yeah. Wheel Pros changed their name. Okay. Yeah. That's just a legalese way of saying Hoonigan as a whole, the company. Very common in press statements and mergers and acquisitions. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. I'm reading some stuff off the Reddit. Booster 10 is likely to be removed from the pad. Oh, uh-oh. Something broke. Hey, Sea Kraken. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know about the acquisition. That's strange. Yeah, I've been bumming because the vlog videos from like 2017, 2018 and 2019, they're so good. They're such fun videos to watch, like the Scumbag Labs videos with the truck and everything. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Tars, they didn't do a static fire yesterday. No, something went wrong with it and they stopped everything yesterday. And if they're bringing the transport stand transport stand's moving. If they're moving it over to the booster, that means they're taking 10 off of the pad. So that tells me that something is broke on the booster that they can't fix at the pad. Or something on the pad is not working correctly and it requires taking the booster, which might be fine, off to fix whatever's at the pad. It's either one or the other. They wouldn't take it off the stand if they wouldn't take it off the stand if it was one thing or the other. Yeah, interesting. I didn't realize that this happened with Hoonigan dudes. Yeah. Clear Lake Capital is behind Wheel Pros. Forgot the whole lineup, but Clear Lake Capital scooped up a bunch of car culture brands in the last 2 years, like Wheel Pros and Throttle. Interesting.
Listen, Tranquility Base here.
The Eagle has landed. Here's the rocket. Yeah, I saw the picture that you linked. Thanks for the tip, dude. That's a $3. $3 tip. You working on that thing? I mean, it's big. That's a big rocket, but you don't need a tip to get me to see a link, dude. I already clicked on it. All good, man. Thank you for the 3. I appreciate it. Have a good holiday. Yeah, see, I've been... Huh. Interesting. Wow, the subreddit is not, oof. Ron left too. Ooh. Ooh. That's sad, man. That's sad. That sucks. But hey, at least we got a piece of it. We got a piece of the original Hoonigan, man. Isn't that cool? I don't think Hoonigan is over. It's just so Clear Lake Capital, the company that owns Wheel Pros, right? Which is basically what Hoonigan is. When you have an investment group behind like what you're doing like that, like, so Clearlake Capital is a venture capital company, right? So venture capital companies are basically a bunch of people pool their money together into this company, and this company backs other companies to deliver a product. So, like, say I have an idea for, like, I don't know, we'll use a rocket, for instance. Say I have an idea of a rocket that can fly up into space and fly right back down, no problem. Like, it's a game-changing idea. You'll go pitch ideas to venture capital groups, and they'll fund your project. They'll give you the money to do your idea, right? And when your idea, when you do it, right, and your company starts becoming profitable, you pay them back. Right, you pay them more money than what they invested back. They're a shareholder in your project or your business or whatever. The thing about it is, you know, when you get involved with VC like that, right, you now have a financial responsibility. It's not just you run your business and you make money and you get to pocket all of it. You now have a financial responsibility because, you know, sometimes venture capitalists fund the project and then they buy share in the company, right? They own, and if they have controlling share in the company, right, then you don't run your company anymore. You're just there to do the idea, right? So basically, when certain venture capitalists get involved, it isn't about making something cool necessarily. It could be about just making money, and that's fine. There's not really a problem with that. But, and I'm not trying to say anything about, like, Clearlake Capital. I know nothing about them. But so Clearlake Capital funded Wheel Pros, whatever that is, and then Wheel Pros merged with Hoonigan in 2021, and then Wheel Pros changed their name. They merged the two companies together, and then Wheel Pros changed their name to Hoonigan. And when Wheel Pros changed their name to Hoonigan 2 months ago, it seems like that's when all the original Hoonigan like employees started leaving. So that tells me that that Wheel Pros, Hoonigan, the company or whatever, the venture capitalists have changed the idea of what they want Hoonigan to be, which is, hey, stuff changes. It happens. Business is cutthroat like that. It happens. It's just sad to see. So, yeah, Hoonigan as we know it is probably not going to be the same. I mean, it might be. Who knows? So, like, venture capitalists will pool their money, they'll buy a company, and, you know, to make more money, they'll buy another company, merge it together, and then make money off of it, you know? It's not a hostile takeover. No. No, not a hostile takeover. Yeah. So, I mean, it really depends on the venture capital. Like, some venture capitalists are ruthless. Like, they'll buy a company, they'll maximize the profit as much as they can, and when you, like, you know, getting the product, like a product out, right? And then they'll start getting rid of all the people that helped make that project. They'll lay them off, or they'll give them severance or something, and they'll basically wring the company out like a towel, right? And then when there's nothing left in the towel's dry, they'll just declare bankruptcy and whatever, sell it, right? To maximize profits. That's what happens. Like I said, business is cutthroat like that. Like I said, it's not personal. It's just business. It happens. You know, it's, yeah, you know, but then again, there are venture capitalists that are there for the long run. Like, I'll give you an example, like Steve Jurvetson. Steve Jurvetson owns the venture capital, or he's a partner in the venture capital company that funds SpaceX. And he's part of the reason why SpaceX was able to do what they did in the first place. And they're not trying to wring profits out of SpaceX. Steve Jurvetson's venture capital company is continually funding SpaceX. They're in for the long run because Jurvetson's a spaceflight nutcase. I don't know if you guys seen his office. It's pretty friggin' cool. So, like, venture capitalists aren't always dicks. Like, it really depends on who you do business with. Look at this dude's office. Here, hold up. This is off of his Flickr. Look. This is in his office. Their portfolio. Let me see. Yeah. Dude, he has all kinds of spaceflight memorabilia. Dude, he's been funding them for a long time. Look, dude. He has like autographed spacecraft parts from like from the spacecraft. From the Apollo craft, and he has all kinds of SpaceX stuff. Headsets. That's an AGC interface, so the computer. Like, the guy's a spaceflight doctor. So, like, it really depends, like I said, on who you do business with. Jurvenson's cool. That guy's cool. He's a spaceflight nutcase, and that's why he funded Elon in the first place. Guy's got rocket engines all over his desk. Which is freaking cool, man. That's really cool. He's a good dude. Apparently, Clear Lake is valued at $70 billion. Yeah, let's see. What's their portfolio? Yeah, exactly, Don. Clear Lake is responsible for... Oh, no. Oh. So they got some energy companies in their portfolio. Wow, there's a really diverse amount of stuff in here, dude. Good for them. Oh, no way. Freaking jacuzzi, yeah. How about that, huh? Oh, gosh. The Yanis Group. I've seen this movie before. Ugh. Yeah, that's how VCs keep afloat. Diversify. Yeah, and see, there's Wheel Pros. Wheel Pros is a leading diner market and distributor of branded automotive aftermarket wheels, tires. Founded in 1995, Wheel Pros serves 10,000 retailers. They own a chunk of Chelsea FC. Ugh. Ew. Oh, yeah. Man, and Buy.com. These guys are all over the place. I mean, good for them. But, yeah, they kind of sucks, but good for them, dude. They're doing work. $70 billion of assets under management. Wow. The Reddit said that Vin's video says Wheel Pros, with all its acquisition, is a little more than $2 billion a year in revenue. Wow. Yeah, I mean, Erda, you got to respect the hustle. It still sucks, but hey, money talks, dude. Money talks, bro. Hey, it's true. Tessa, why you're a mod? Why are you rolling for ad time, you bonehead? You've got to be... I hate you. I hate you a lot right now. Great, go to your porch while they roll. No, absolutely not. No, screw you. I'm opening up the packages off stream now because you did that. No. I'm not gonna be a damn circus monkey. Shut the hell up. Loopy, this isn't about venture capital, but I need to pull the collective Kerbal knowledge here. I've updated to Windows 10 at last, and now Kerbal chugs really bad when I'm in orbit looking at planets with atmosphere and water. Is it Kerbal 1 or 2, Loopy? Today's closure has been marked as concluded. All right. Are you running it as administrator? Don, yo, how are you going to spend your Xmas? Sorry if I'm the 1,000th person to ask. I'm spending it with my family, dude. Yep. But fruit snacks? I'm out of fruit snacks, guys. I have to go to the store. Changing the renderer to DX11 or OpenGL effect things. It's possible. Make sure your video drivers are updated, too. That's my next guess. You might have some on your porch. You'll regret it. Relativity made a new engine manufacturing video. Cool. Alright, fine. Fine. Stupid frickin' Hey, dill hole. You dill hole. Who the hell sent this? There were a bunch of packages on the damn steps. Yours is the other one. It's not P.O. Box stuff. I haven't had a chance to go to the P.O. Box, dude. I haven't been feeling well. It's a box of fruit snacks. Tessa, what is yours, the one that's addressed to EJ and Brimo, or what? Okay, I'll be right back. You might want more coffee to go with that. Got me a freaking shortbread selection of Walker's cookies. Man, I'm trying to lose weight, you dill hole. Jeez. I'm just getting all the packages showing up. Oh, Brimo said I can't take this out here, but I'm like, how am I going to show them what I got? And she's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, you got to do that. I'm like, yeah, I know. She's like, no, you can't take all the cookies. I'm like, I can take all the cookies, and I will. Wrong time to start wanting to lose weight. Yeah, I know. I know. Tell me about it. Merry Christmas, buddy. Thank you. Anyway. Truck looks good, though. It's starting to look real good. Starting to look real good. But yeah, that's kind of... It is what it is with Hoonigan. I mean, hey, hopefully the boys from Hoonigan made a lot of money off of that. That'd be good. You look good. Oh, thank you. Here, it's my fruit snack diet. This is berries and cherries. Fruit snack, berries and cherries, man. Oh. Fruit snack. Bits from fruit snack. Some Christmas bits with no calories? All right. Thanks, man. Still no update from Firefly on the burn they were planning. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, going back to the truck, that's what I want it to look like. Minus the whole plywood up exhaust. I want this part, not that part. So, yeah. It has the paint on it's nice. You could tell from these videos. But yeah, I'm trying to get it to look like that. I want it plywood burnout spec paint job. And I know it's kind of getting rid of the Route 154 paint job, but hey, it is what it is. You must evolve. Okay? Top tier fruit snacks? Okay, Avix. Alright, anyway. You guys ready to play some Kerbal? Ready to play some Kerbal? I got my fruit snacks now. Thank you, Ewok. What? What do you want? What is this supposed to be? I'm confused. Yeah. Are you painting over the red or sanding it off? I see it every time I'm in here, and I only just thought to ask. I am polishing off the spray paint. That would be the right way to say it. I developed a concoction of chemicals of like acetone cut with brake clean, which already has acetone in it, but so acetone, brake clean, and some other stuff. And I found, and if you cut it right, if you wipe it, it only takes the spray paint off. And it doesn't take the clear coat off, only the spray paint. So I've been getting that red spray paint off, which the red spray paint is on top of black spray paint, which is on top of white and blue spray paint, and then the factory is under that. Factory coat is under that. It's a lot of elbow grease. I have a toilet brush on a drill that takes all of it off. Yeah. Washing away the paint. Yep. The years stop coming and they don't stop coming. Yes. Yeah, we have to evolve. I'm evolving the truck back to factory. I want to get that 97 basically back to stock. And then we can start doing funny stuff to it. Not funny stuff like plywood burnouts. Funny stuff like, I don't know, making it go faster. And make it, well, actually, I mean, we don't need to make that truck go faster. It needs more power. Because it's a towing vehicle. Must have more power. Forge, that's gross. Anyway. Seven 3 swap when? I don't know if we should 7-3 swap it, Hammer. I was thinking stick with the gasoline and find a 460. A 460 with the ZF5 behind it would be pretty cool. It'd be a pretty cool little tow truck. I mean, the fuel economy would be butthole, but whatever. I was thinking 460. Your truck needs to drive 88 miles an hour. Yeah. I mean, 460s are around. That with a low gear would pull down a building. Yep. I mean, it's got a 351 in it. It's good, and we could build it out. But yeah, the 460 with the ZF5 behind it. I mean, that truck's a manual. That's why I like it. That's why I wanted to buy it from Hoonigan in the first place. It's got a 5-speed in it, which is cool. Put an overdrive selector for the economy. It has overdrive already, Tessa. Yeah, the fifth gear on that ZF5 transmission is it's a ZF5 47 transmission. First gear is a crawler gear, then second is technically first gear, and then third and fourth are second and third gear, and then fifth is the overdrive. Booster 10 does not seem happy. Looks like a D-stack. Yeah, I see it up there. It needs to drive 40 meters per second. Yeah. I mean, the separate ones you could switch for ultra high range. We're not going to get that with 410 gears, dude. But, yeah. But yeah, 460 I think would be cool. 7.3 would be cool, but yeah. Last, some news from the Lacking Access to Space Agency. The European Space Agency has put out a request for proposal for cargo launch and return. Funny enough, this will likely launch on a U.S. launch vehicle since we lack the ability to make functioning rockets. Oof. I mean, turbo kit, that would be cool. We have the ECU to be able to tune for it. I have a Holly Terminator. Ernock, a viewer, bought one for me. So we have a Terminator. We could put a centrifugal charger on the 5.8 and go from there. That would be kind of cool. Or a turbo, whatever. I mean, the supercharger would be better for making more torqueys. We want to make more torqueys. Yeah, 4-lane, the engine's fine. It does have an oil leak. I got to figure out where that's coming from. I think the drain pan O-ring is shot, but yeah, that's easy. Peter's got you in a supercharger mood. Here, hold on. How much do supercharger kits for 351 for small block Fords cost? Oh. Oh. Yeah, those are expensive. Yeah, those are... Yeah. Those are a lot of money. Paxton Pro Chargers, $5,300. $5,300. Buy the. I'm in the truck for less money than that. Organs, Tessa. Yeah, that's. That's Soxforge. Hey, Shaw, does this help? Yeah, a little bit. My blower showed up early today. It was supposed to be here Wednesday and showed up one step closer to race season. There you go. There you go. Jeez. There's this supercharged. Damn. Yeah. $2,900, $3,200. $3,800, $2,900. You can get a supercharger kit for your MX-5. Includes reflash of the ECU for 300 horsepower. Yeah, these yeah, supercharger kits are no joke, man. Hey, Kane, what's going on? I mean, I knew they were expensive, but here, let's price it low to high. Like, what's the cheapest one? $2,400 for the base kit. Long work hours, you? Just holidays get nutty as they do. Here, let's go ratchet and try eBay Motors. This always ends well, real quick. Obviously, the 1471 no bypass. And VOD watchers, I have found the missing keys. Nice, nice. Where were they? Yeah, eBay is not that much better, to be honest. That's not that. Window shopping for the 250. I'm trying to see like a supercharger kit in that Holly Terminator could be a little useful, you know. But superchargers are oof. Try Gov auctions for a supercharger? I'm better off going to the damn junkyard. Buy a turbocharger for a 7.3 and then get a 460 and hook it up to that and then just tune it. Rob a stock supercharger from an 0304 Cobra and find a manifold that will bolt up. Yeah, the junkyard might be the best option for some low buck stuff. Turbos, 7.3 turbos though are all over the place, dude. They're not expensive, just the turbo. They're 200 to, they go from like 200 to 1,000. But I'm seeing an average price here around $200. Joe, use your racing page. Oh, hell yeah, man. This is killer. I mean, I don't have Facebook, dude, but I can see some of those pictures. That's awesome. You gonna pro charge the F250? We're just thinking. We're thinking. Okay? We're thinking. We're just thinking. We're cooking. Yeah. Yep. The F2 pretty. Yeah, well, it's not that yet. Find someone's abandoned project. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some looking around here. I'm just looking around, but we should play some Kerbal. In the meantime, I could literally do this for the rest of the day. But I am happy with the the hood painted. It's definitely looking a lot nicer. The ProCharger Terminator EFI sounds like some solid power upgrades. Yeah, we could really dial it in, dude. But we'd need to have it turboed. I need to have it tuned somewhere. I need to find a tuning shop around. I don't think there's anything like that around here. Your engine stock, though, would you need better studs? I don't know. Have you seen the video from Relativity yet? I've seen it. It wasn't linked. It was linked, though. I haven't watched it. That's what I'm trying to say. What did you do, Alucard? You turn the turbo into a supercharger. Yeah, I could. Definitely one of those learn how to use the ECM first moment. I gotta wire that thing up, too. Alright, we'll watch this video to get in the mood for KSP, and then we'll go.
Engines here at Relativity are manufactured starting at initial design release from our engineering partners. The majority of our parts are powder bed printed, so that means they go through our PBF powder bed fusion team.
PBF, you can overcome the challenges of getting a part quickly. When a rocket engine is in its development phase, generally the parts are very high in complexity, but you're producing them at a pretty low volume. This puts you pretty low on the priority list for castings and forging companies. This is where PBF really reigns supreme, where you're able to produce these very complex geometries rapidly at a very high quality and with material properties that are equivalent to raw product.
Rapid iteration benefits our engine manufacturing program because we can actually try out and get through testing many different designs prior to needing to lock anything in. Because there are no fixed tools or casting molds, we're able to change many printed features in our as-printed model, produce multiple different versions, often given different part names or nicknames, and test all of those different versions either at component level or integrated onto the engine before we have to down select to a final version.
So generally your part will start as a CAD model. It will then get put through a PBF slicing software which cuts your CAD model into many different slices. These slices can range from 40 micron all the way to 100 micron. That sliced CAD model ends up getting sent to the machine. Here, the machine tends to have, in a very simplified diagram, a powder dispenser, a build plate, and an overflow dispenser. So your powder, each layer, your powder will go up while your build plate will go down. A recoater arm then comes to spread powder all across your build plate, at which point the lasers in the machine will start lasing depending upon
it's
that
a laser sinterer. I got it.
Keep repeating this and then you build your part additively up based on all the slices from your CAD model.
Wow.
A really good example that showcases powder bed fusion's quick iteration would be the GG injector. We were able to trial out
gas generator
element geometries to try to find the highest performance one. Every GG injector had the same machined housing, and we were able to use additive to swap out different designs for the actual elements. This way we're
Does that guy have a hat that says Dick Wolf on it?
different element geometries to try to find the highest performance one. Every GG injector had
Yep, okay.
the same machined housing, and we were able to use additive to swap out different designs
No,
for
ma'am,
the
I
actual
haven't.
elements. This way we were able to try out different element geometries in parallel to find the highest performing one.
Cool.
The traditional method would have taken thousands and thousands of parts to come all together to create one injector pack. But like by utilizing additive manufacturing, we are able to make all of that to 3 parts.
They're produced, printed, depowdered, cut off the build plate, inspected, and then handed over to our machine shop organization. There they take the as printed part and they machine it into the part that we accept here at the propulsion integration floor. There we do all of the finishing passes, bolt holes, sealing surfaces, final checks and dimensions go through precision inspection. We take the part here on the prop floor and we integrate any valves, helicoils, other components that we need, and then final assembly happens where we bring all of those sub-assemblies together. So things like your aux pump and your fuel pump, your TCA, and you assemble into one final engine before we ship. The real power of iterative design for us is that it allows us to fail quickly. We want to learn as much as possible, as early as possible, to reach our ideal qualifiable engine as quickly as possible. So in being able to test many different designs, many different configurations quickly without needing to completely retool our shop every time we get test learnings, we're able to get to that end state perfect engine all that much faster.
Cool.
In under 2 years, we went from sizing A on R to now having completed a mission duty cycle of the engine. We gathered a ton of data quickly and accumulated in a successful MVC.
That's cool. Yeah, that's laser sintering. Laser sinter 3D printing, which is super cool. Yeah. That's cool, man. Good video. All right. Sweet. Let's go over to Kerbal. Play around. Go ahead. Snoop around. This is for science day 4? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yes.